Hello, hello. We are at the Go Home Monday Night Raw. Happy Monday to one and all. We got a different type of Raw tonight. London, over in the UK. This thing's been pre-taped several hours ago. I've read the spoilers because I don't give a shit. And I think it's interesting enough to take a look at tonight. I don't know how the show's going to come off on TV, but we're going to watch it. We're going to see how it goes. By the way, we're looking good. Hello, number one. And also, since, I just want to say right up front, with just a few people in the chat so far, since this is a taped show, let's try to do our best about spoiling things. Everybody has access to the internet. If you're watching this, you're on the same internet as everybody else. So anybody who wants to know the spoilers can find out on their own. You don't need to educate them. So I know it's probably going to be impossible to avoid spoilers in the chat, but if you can just be mature about it, and be cool, I would appreciate it. I've read the spoilers, like I said, because I don't care, but I don't want to see any fans get spoiled if they really, truly care about spoilers. But considering how bad WWE is and has been, who gives a shit if we read the spoilers, you know what I mean? So, we'll hang out, chat, we'll eyeball Raw, talk about Money in the Bank, hang out, I got a beer open, and we'll chill like we do every Monday. Let me say hello to those of you who are here. Wheezy and C-Mac and Joshua and Down Ice and Costanza. We are Pro Wrestling. Bubba, Benji, Noah, Oli, John, True, Nick, Benji, again, David Robinson, not from the NBA, the shorter and whiter version. Malik, Roderick, Beetle, Antoine, awesome. Okay, got a handful of people in here, very cool. Yeah, so the spoilers that I read were pretty basic. They didn't go into too much detail, but we did see a couple of interesting things, and I will tell you this without spoiling anything. I know now who I'm rooting for in the men's Money in the Bank, for sure. And you'll see what I mean tonight, so who knows? Who knows how it'll be? I'm sure it'll be a jacked crowd. The London crowd is always fun. You know, they don't get Raws as frequently as we do here. So when they come there, they take advantage of it and usually make the show pretty good. So I'm hoping tonight is at least as exciting. You know, we might see some dumb storyline shit and a few things we don't care about, but overall, you think we got a chance to get a good night of wrestling tonight? What do you think? We got 3 hours of this shit. Here we go. It's like a scary-ass roller coaster, like when this intro starts for WWE. It's like, oh my god. I'm going to sit here for 3 hours and talk to y'all about this? What am I doing with my life? I'm just kidding. I love being here on Monday. The spoilers look bad, very bad. Elias, I don't know. There's one specific result that I think looks good, very good, and I think we should all be happy about. Kind of makes up for a really bad segment that we saw last week. All right, Miz is opening things up. I hear Vince has lost touch with things. Oh, you heard that? Where'd you hear that? The internet, interwebs. What's going on, AJ? Thanks for the super chat, brother. I appreciate the $5. Happy to see you because I'm going through some personal stuff right now and need a distraction. Well, we definitely hope we can be that distraction for you, man. Best of luck to you. And thanks again for the donation, dude. But yeah, you know, that's kind of why we're all here, you know. Hang out and do these streams every now and then on the channel. It's fun and kind of you get to escape the real world for a little bit. So I really hope that we are all able to help you do that, my man. And thank you. You know, I said the same thing. I did a live episode, by the way, if you haven't seen it, on Saturday. I was really tired. I apologize if I was, like, stuttery a little bit, but some of these episodes I have to do live because of the behind-the-scenes stuff that I'm doing right now. And I talked about that very point, James Rosano, that it's really cool that All Elite Wrestling is about to have this pay-per-view and likely announce a TV deal with Turner to broadcast on TNT, all at the same time of the fan frustration in WWE being at like an all-time high. Things could not align better for AEW, so I'm really hoping that we now have a second option as wrestling fans. Forget about, oh, they put WWE out of business. Get that shit out of your head. You don't want that to happen anyway. You want two companies, you want two competing companies. And if you want anything less, then you ain't no wrestling fan. You're an asshole. Joey G, how are you, man? Mrs. Okay, I didn't know if this is Miz TV. It is Miz TV, okay. Am I getting another title belt? Probably not. I've had those for years. It's hard to justify spending that kind of money just for something to hang on your wall. I'm glad I have these things. They look cool and everything, but I don't know. Maybe one day.
Money in the Bank happens once a year, and in that briefcase is a contract. It's a contract that is WWE's equivalent to...
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that tonight, too. We Are Pro Wrestling. The price of the pay-per-view is out for Double or Nothing. It's 60 bones. Jesus Christ. That's kind of steep. I'll probably pay it. I planned on it. I wanted to watch it. I think 40 would have been more reasonable. You know, the frothing at the mouth WWE haters who, you know, are giving oral pleasure to All Elite Wrestling on a constant basis. The one thing that might make them stop is if they're taking too much of their money. Erection killed. So I don't know how that's going to affect him having that steep of a price, but damn. I also think that really puts the pressure on them to have a knockout show. I mean, if they just give us a good show and it's okay. Miz is hyping his cage match with Shane, by the way, at Money in the Bank. But if they just give us like a solid show or something, or a decent show, there's technical difficulties out the ass, you know, they're risking pissing off people right out of the gate as well. So I hope it goes off without a hitch. And I hope if we're paying $60, you know, we see CM Punk coming out there and fucking winning the title or something. You know, like it's got to be something like that. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they say, oh, if they slap down their $60, it'll be worth every penny. But that's a big if. All right, so Miz's guest is Roman Reigns. Interesting, both these guys are baby faces here. A Miz TV with Roman Reigns would normally end in Roman spearing Miz out of his stupid-looking jacket. But they might be BFFs tonight. The Miz and Roman experience. Randall Yates, thanks for the $2, buddy. I appreciate those. I appreciate that. And yes, he's right. Get those likes up. What's wrong with y'all? 30 likes. What am I, some J-Brone? Get me up to 100. I'd appreciate it. Smash the like. Make sure you subscribe. I got a classic pay-per-view review in podcast form hitting the channel this week. Probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I still have to upload it. But that's ready to go. And then I'll be up here, I think maybe Thursday or Friday, depending. Probably Friday with Money in the Bank predictions. And that's going to be a live stream. And we're probably only about 2 weeks away, I would say, from this camera angle changing. First thing I'm about ready to change up is kind of position this differently. So that'll be the first little subtle change that you see. And then you'll see some other ones as we roll through the summer here. But things are moving. Thank you for the quote, Austin Kinkle. I was trying to read your comment there, Lisa. That's hilarious. Roman is still making his entrance. We're going to talk about Goldberg and The Undertaker headlining the Saudi Arabia show. Jesus, are you kidding me? I mean, these guys are in their 50s with titanium hips. I mean, how good is this match going to be, man? God. The money that's involved in there just to... Hey, just put this match together no matter how bad it sucks and how little sense it makes. 15 years ago, could have been a thing. No, Tanvir, I'm definitely changing up the camera angle. I'm just sick of the kitchen. I got a whole bunch of wrestling shit right here, but just the way everything's set up, it's hard. It doesn't work. So I'm getting a new desk set up so that way I'll still be right in front of the camera like always, but behind me, it ain't my fucking kitchen. Everything else will be the same. You won't even notice. You'll love it. You'll love it, Tanvir. Chanting for Elias.
Done anything since he's been in the WWE.
How many people showed up on SmackDown last week during the wild card rule? Like 5?
I'm bringing the big fight.
I thought it was 3 and then 4. But on Raw it was 6 and on SmackDown it was 5.
You know, we've never really seen eye to eye, but we have a lot in common. You know, we're both former champions. I'm the A-list movie star. You're about to be in Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. I mean, we should.
Couple of movie stars. See, I told you they're gonna be like BFFs.
Comedy. You know, The Miz and Roman Reigns, The Miz and the Big Dog.
Vontae, shout out to you, man. You tweeted me earlier, and I do not want to rain on your parade, brother. I really don't. You are excited, very excited about Undertaker and Goldberg. Just the kid in you is kind of marking out, and I can definitely appreciate that. It's going to be a great visual. I just wish it would have been a great visual 20 years ago. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Undertaker and Sting. Yeah, we'd like to see it, but would we? You know? I picture 2 old dudes fighting at the senior center over the last fucking bingo card. You know what I mean? It's like, God. I just think in the ring it's going to be not good. But at least it goes down in the record books as it has happened, or it will happen. I just hope nobody dies in the fucking ring. These guys are old, you know? Man, I'm so glad Roman didn't beat Drew last week again. That would have pissed me off. Nick Musser, Thursday's your birthday. Happy birthday. How old are you going to be? Are you young or are you like 100? But happy birthday to you. Go out and toast a few with your friends or do something crazy. Did AEW, did they really label that as $59.95? That's hilarious. No, it ain't $60. It's $59.95. Yeah, we got Tom McGee, Bret Hart coming up next on the WWE Network. I'm going to be watching that. 24? All right. Almost a quarter century. That's scary.
And it took Shane McMahon to make me understand why. It's about respect. It's about earning respect. Earning respect from my peers, earning respect from the WWE Universe. After 13 years, I think I have started to earn that respect.
You kind of have, Miz. I'll give that to you.
Shane McMahon hasn't earned anything. He's a daddy's boy that is
Miz had a rep like Leo Rush back in the day. Now people are kind of... Miz is a player.
Look, I know I'm not the toughest, I'm not the biggest, I'm not the strongest.
I hope they put the belt on him one day before he retires, man.
When I bring a fight, I bring a fight.
Wash off the stink of that 2011 run and give him a run that's actually like entertaining and fun and not annoying.
He will be stuck in a steel cage with me. There will be nowhere to run. There will be nowhere to hide.
Well, I hope so. You kind of got to win that match, Miz.
You will regret ever putting your hands on me and my family because you're going to go down faster than your old man did to a Superman punch.
Thank you for the 99 cents, Dr. Arnold Palmer. I'm going to take that 99 cents and go buy myself some iced tea because I got some lemonade in the fridge. Alright, now Miz is out. Not Miz, Shane. I'm guessing Elias will be here, I'm sure. Dr. Arnold Palmer, thanks for another one. Now I can go buy 2 iced teas. Sweet. 2 Arnold Palmers. Cheers to you, my man. Thank you.
But the one thing that I didn't hear was the fact that I need you to remember that I'm your boss.
Yeah, we know that, Shane.
And being the boss, I am also out here to inform you that as of right now, Miz TV is now over.
Oh, wait, he canceled Miz TV and then... Lashley and Elias jump Roman and Miz. Oh, go. That's going to be a tag team match. Teddy, you want to come out here and help us out? Playa? Anyone? Bueller? Or Shane, you work too. Why'd they even move Elias to SmackDown?
You know what? Since you guys just got acquainted, then one thing I like to do right now is just don't get up. Don't get up. It's okay. Stay in that ring because you two guys have a match against Bobby Lashley and Elias.
What? A tag team match?
We'll start now.
How creative.
Hurry out here and let's get ready to kick this thing off.
That's why wrestling is so good. Who would have seen that coming? 4 guys are fighting, and then they just make a tag team match? That's brilliant. Finally, things are getting better, you know? Finally, some writing, some good writing. Original. Sweet. Probably match of the year candidate right here. Nick Morales. Thank you, man. I was a big fan of your dad, Pedro. Hey, it's Monday. You know what that means. Yeah. It means torture, but you're making it easier by showing up and showing your support. Excuse me. Thank you, Nick. And hopefully you continue to hang out and we get through this together. But like I said, I glanced at, you know, kind of the quick spoilers or the quick results. And I think there's a couple of things on the show tonight worth looking at. Still doesn't mean it's going to be a good show. Zane, thanks for the buck. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Man, I tell you what, these shitty Raws are affecting my ratings too. We got under 200 people in here. It's because the show's ass. Yeah, sign me up for the Roman match, yeah. Well, Roman and Miz, I mean, we said during the promo, I'm like, yeah, they're probably going to be all buddy-buddy.
My car was swept away in a flash flood. After about 5 hours, a lot of phone calls, they sent a helicopter and picked me up for safety. The network more people rely on gives you more. Like big savings on our best phones when you switch. That's Verizon.
Yeah, what happened with Game of Thrones? See, I don't watch the show, but I saw somebody tweet out that something disappointing happened or something on the show for the hardcore Game of Thrones fans. I actually had a super long Mother's Day at work. I was there like 13 hours or something, and I went out after work for a couple of drinks with coworkers, and one of the guys loves the show, and he was marking out. He's like, oh, it's one of the best episodes I've ever seen, so he thought it was great, but I don't know anything about it, so I'm glad they're disappointed. Everybody goes nuts over that show. I hope Game of Thrones has bad booking and distraction roll-ups and shit. Thanks for the 99 cents, Nick. I appreciate it. Thanks for 2 of them, for that matter. Happy early birthday to you. Damn, Joey G. You know shit's bad. Thanks for the $1.99. You know shit's bad when 2010 doesn't look so bad. That was a horrible year. I barely gave a shit at all. I hardly even watched. I mean, I even struggled to get into the Nexus. I mean, I liked a little bit of what they did. I liked when they did the big attack, you know, the whole thing that got Daniel Bryan fired, choking out Justin Roberts. I liked that whole deal. I thought that was good and well done and everything. But the Daniel Bryan firing kind of killed that, and then John Cena killed it even further. And but even when it was at its peak, I still didn't think it was like the greatest thing I ever saw. I just thought it was pretty decent for that time. But still, in terms of factions, I didn't even have it on my list of greatest ever. Not even close. That might have changed had they won that SummerSlam match. Damn, you got an hour left. Good, you can get home to catch, James, you can get home to catch the rest of Raw. And after a long night at work, you can just come home and torture yourself for 2 hours. Doesn't that sound fun? All right, here we go. Big tag team match. Miz Reigns, Elias Lashley. I'm going to eyeball this one at best. Mike Witt, thanks for the $5, dude. I appreciate it. I'm just counting the days till Double or Nothing. The only thing I want to see tonight is Brett versus Tom McGee. I'm ready to see that too. And I don't know, the documentary that's being aired on it, did they get Brett and Tom to do interviews for this thing? Because they're both going to be at StarCast as well, talking about it. And this is one of these WWE moves they're making against All Elite Wrestling that I can live with. This is not a big deal. You know, they're doing it to get a leg up on All Elite Wrestling, but really, I mean, All Elite Wrestling is having a panel talking about a specific WWE match, and then the fans are mad that WWE is going to say something about it too. It's their shit. You know, like, what's the big deal? You know, plus it actually might put a few bucks in Tom McGee's pocket, and it might add interest to the panel they're doing at StarCast. So it's really, nobody's losing here at anything. So I'm all for dragging WWE when they're being assholes or idiots or something, but this particular example is harmless, and I don't care. I'm much more mad about what they're doing to the Revival on TV and shit like that. That bothers me a lot more. And it's a story that's finally going to be told now, you know. The only thing that kind of sucks, it's that sometimes it can be a letdown, like when you finally find the Holy Grail of whatever it is you're looking for. Once you have it, what is there to achieve kind of thing. So I think we have to make up another one and try to find something else, some other piece of footage that can be considered the tape trader's Holy Grail. And I used to be a tape trader for many years. I had VHS tapes stacked to the ceiling. And I thought I had some pretty rare shit. But I can't think of any other match that might be out there that nobody's ever seen. We never did on TV either. We got no explanation, correct, for why Leo Rush is not with Bobby Lashley. They didn't write anything to separate them. They just stopped putting them together because Leo Rush has got all this heat right now, and I don't know what's going on with him. He turned down that deal, apparently. He sounds like a complete pain in the ass. Somebody that no matter how talented you are, sometimes just not worth it to deal with someone like that. Just let him go. Fuck it. AJ, thanks for the $2, dude. Who would I say is the Mount Rushmore of ECW? Mount Rushmore, ECW. Dreamer, Raven, Funk. I don't know, Sandman, Sabu, Taz. Well, who do you go with, man, you know? I think you got to go Raven. I'd probably say you got to go Taz. Dreamer, just because of him being there. And I want to say Terry Funk because he's kind of the godfather, but if you eliminate Terry, there's too many to pick. I don't know if you put Shane Douglas on there or not, possibly. Dudley's, RVD. All right, commercial break. Ugh, God. All right, we are 22 minutes in, and I already have a migraine, but we're going to survive. We're going to survive. All right. Viewers are creeping up a little bit. Still low numbers. Low numbers for us, low numbers for WWE. I guess nobody gives a shit right now. And this is a go-home show. Don't forget we have Money in the Bank this Sunday, which is usually not a small pay-per-view. It can really set the table for a lot of future storylines in some cases. And now you got two people running around with fucking briefcases. We got 2 title matches. We have 4 title matches, excuse me, with Becky having 2 on her own. Things could look different in a week. And we did see a change. We're going to see later on a change to the Money in the Bank card that's going to play out later on tonight on Raw that I think might have a huge effect on my predictions when I do them later this week. So if WWE is truly worried about these fucking ratings, maybe they can start trying to make things better with a solid Money in the Bank pay-per-view and do some fun shit. Don't go full-blown panic and start doing impulsive shit. Just do smart shit, you know? And it can't be done overnight. Make it a gradual thing. Oh, Money in the Bank was great. The next night's Raw was slightly better than the week before. Oh, and then the next Raw was just as good. Maybe a little bit better than that. And then you just slowly get better. Somebody just throw a net over Vince, tie his hands and legs together, put duct tape over his face, and throw him in the fucking broom closet for the whole day. And just write TV. And at least get his ass out of there for a while and just see if little things improve. And then let him out. You know, push. I mean, don't be cruel or anything. I mean, if you're gonna bound Vince's arms and legs together and put duct tape over his face, leave. I mean, you got to be human here. So put holes so he can breathe, and then under the door just slide bits of food, slide bits of like Vince food under the door, like I don't know, like a protein bar, and just mash it and stick it right under there. You know, he'll be fine. And then let him out, you know? He can still ride on the private plane and everything. That's like the only way it's going to get better. I know a guy who can help him. What am I looking at here? Oh, okay, my streaming service, I got some weird ad going on during the commercial break. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Hey, it beats that tobacco commercial or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, Vince food. Vince eats different food than the rest of us humans. Yeah, lock Kevin Dunn in a closet too. That would be fine. Yeah, take your pick. You know, lock him in a closet. Smash him in the face with a cinder block. Take your pick there. I'll leave it up to you. Yeah, crazy. I'm aware of Goldberg and Undertaker in Saudi Arabia. I have absolutely zero interest in this. I want to profusely apologize to our friend Vontae Page, who was in the chat here earlier on. He's very much excited about this match, just probably for the visual of it and, you know, being a kid and, you know, a huge fan of both of those guys. He's kind of marking out for that, and I can completely appreciate that. But, man, this would have been fine and good in 2003. You could add some good promos, because The Undertaker was the biker. He was the badass. And he was more himself on the mic. And for many years there in WCW and WWE, they seemed like the two unbeatable guys in each brand. You know, the two top, you know, not necessarily top stars like Austin Rock type of guys, but, well, Goldberg might have been, you know, but the two characters that seemed the strongest and seemed the most impossible to beat. You know, so they could have played off a lot of that 2 years later in 2003. But now it's 2019. And The Undertaker is in his late hundreds. Goldberg's social security number is 1. They got no business being in the ring. What the hell was that, Elias? Isn't there a female wrestler that uses that move? So I just think that having this match now is like, man, it's just, Saudi Arabia is just paying for a match. There's like, we want this match. And WWE just calls up Goldberg. Hey, you want to make a ton of money? You know, and come slowly stumble around the ring with The Undertaker for 20 minutes? We'll give you $2 million. I'd do it too. But damn, I do not really have any interest in seeing it. And The Undertaker's retirement at WrestleMania has rubbed me the wrong way ever since, but he was in the same position. Saudi Arabia throws $1 billion at WWE. All of a sudden, there's a lot more money to spread around, and Undertaker can cash in on a couple of more ridiculous paydays. Money talks over respect for the business and respect for not hanging out too long and taking up a spot and shit like that. All that took a back seat to the big dollar. Reese Jones, thanks, buddy, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Being live in the arena and the atmospheres of the crowd made the show better, so you were there. Nice. I think did you tell me that last week? Yeah, I'm sure. Well, we were saying that earlier, man. The London crowd is always a blast, and they're always into it, and they're always jacked, and the show is usually a sellout or close to it. It's not like in here in the States where half the damn arena is tarped off. They usually have a good time in London. Yeah, the whole upper deck is full. So that's cool. Feel free to give us any other opinions on the show. But I'm glad you liked it. Mike Witt, thanks for another $5, dude. I'm hoping Bayley wins the briefcase Sunday. She's kind of on my short list, too. I want to see her winning on the female side. I agree with you. Then Charlotte beats Becky later in the night, and then Bayley cashes in on Charlotte. Bayley needs a push. I'm with you all the way up on Bayley cashing in the same night. They did that last year with Alexa. I don't think they do it 2 years in a row. I think you kind of spread stuff like that out. As a matter of fact, I'd be perfectly fine with neither briefcase being cashed in on the same night. Let's not do that this year and have some fun with it. And I mentioned Bayley winning the briefcase in my last episode and possibly winning the briefcase as a babyface, but cashing it in by turning heel. And that doesn't necessarily have to be the very first night. She can kind of play the game. She can be out on TV being sappy. We got a DQ or some shit. This BS match, by the way. You know, just be all goody two-shoes Becky, or Bayley, I'm sorry. I made that mistake on Friday, too. Disgusting the fans with her babyfaceness. And every week, Bayley is just like, oh, shucks, I got the briefcase. I hope to cash in. And then she does cash in, I don't know, 4 months from now or something. Turning heel, vicious, takes advantage of an opportunity. Something like that might be fun. Then maybe she gets tattoos and becomes all goth. Jesus, Roman. That looked good. Sometimes those dives look like shit, but man, Roman, he executes that better than Taker did when he was in his prime. All right, now Shane's out there. So I don't know if there was the bell rang, so I'm sure it's a DQ. I don't know if it's double DQ or somebody actually won. But Shane caused something here. Sorry, Nick. Thanks for the $1.99. No, not yet. So far, alcohol is doing the trick for Monday Night Raw. Austin, I was with you on your picks last week. My two picks would probably be McIntyre or Andrade, but that changes tonight. I have a new pick. Brett, thanks for the shout out. Glad you could stop by, even though you can't stomach WWE anymore. You can stomach us. We're cool. We're not stupid like WWE. We're smart people. Only smart people hang out here. Which is why there's only 175 people in here right now, because I truly believe that is the actual number of smart fans that exist in wrestling, in the wrestling world. There's about 175 of us. Everybody else is a bunch of knuckle-dragging freaks. But we're cool, right? We'll get you through it, Brett. We got you. We got you. There's Seth Rollins. How about Seth and Becky being announced as the new power couple? Even WWE announced that they were dating. And Rusev tweeted out, he's like, I hope they don't get in trouble or some shit. Hilarious. So yeah, Seth and Becky, the cat is out of the bag. I think we already knew that, but... Becky being off TV for 2 weeks isn't going to change anything at all, other than giving us a quick breather. I think she needs to drop one of the belts on Sunday and just come to one show, namely Monday Night Raw. This is where I want to see her. I think Becky should be on Monday nights. She won the title in the main event of WrestleMania. Raw's the A show. That's where she should be. Plus, she's already been on SmackDown since the initial brand split. So moving over here makes sense. She can continue feuding with Lacey. If Ronda comes back, she's right there waiting for her. All the signs point to her just being on Raw. So if that happens, and then she's just on Raw, and they're not doing the stupid wild card thing with her every week, and sending her to SmackDown too, then we will get less Becky. And we'll be getting her in the doses that we can stomach, at least. Because she's going to have to be on TV every week, you know, unless your name is Brock Lesnar. You're champion, or you're injured. Your champion's on TV every week. kind of unavoidable these days. Shadow Rocks, the plan for right now is to do a live reaction to Double or Nothing. Problem is, they still have not announced any other ways here in the States that I have seen on where to stream this. It's available on pay-per-view apparently, and it's $60, which I think they're pushing their luck with that. I will pay it. Hey, I want them to succeed, you know, but that's $40 would have been much more reasonable. You know, I mean, I know they've spent a lot of money up front, so they probably want to try to make a little bit back, but you're asking a lot for some of these fans who already pay for other shit to now drop 60 on this thing. And you know, as demanding as wrestling fans are, you charge them $60 for a show, you better give them absolute euphoric moments, heaven on earth in a wrestling show. You better have CM Punk coming back and cutting a pipe bomb side by side with Jon Moxley on the WWE for a half an hour. I mean, it's got to be something like huge like that. Otherwise, it ain't gonna be worth it. So I will bite the bullet and I will pay it. I'm on YouTube. I'm a personality on YouTube. I feel like it's my responsibility to watch this thing and tell you guys what I thought about it. But that ain't gonna be a fun $60 to spend. And I think as much as the fans are up the ass of AEW and really excited about it, and maybe have a little bit too high of expectations for this company, as in, oh, they're gonna put WWE out of business in 3 months. As crazy as those people are, I think one way to have them turn on you is to charge them too much money. And you start taking their money, oh, all of a sudden, you know, maybe all that ball, the ball and, what am I trying to say? The ball tickling, if you will, is going to stop real quick. But I would gladly pay any amount of money for it. It's just 60 feels like it's a boxing match. It's like a Mike Tyson fight or something like that. And I would really like to find, I don't know where to stream this here. I know the UK, they've got a streaming, the ITV or whatever is going to be streaming it over there. But here, I don't really want to watch it on my pay-per-view channel or on my TV. I want to watch it right here. So I need to figure out how to do that. And they better announce it. Their show's fucking coming up. I just thought they would have their shit together by now. I thought I was the dumb one, that I couldn't find any information on how to watch Double or Nothing. I'm like, am I stupid? I cannot find any info on this. I might have to ask the fans. Come to find out, AEW didn't even know what the hell was going to go on and how to watch this here in the States until like a few days ago. That's crazy. Mike, thanks for the $2. I don't know anything that's going on with the Sasha Banks situation, but one thing I do know, she will not be going to All Elite Wrestling. She's got a couple years left on her contract, and they are not going to let her go. If she wants to sit it out, I'm sure she can. But All Elite Wrestling, I think, would be way down the line for Sasha if she doesn't come back. I don't think we're anywhere near that. Catherine, what's up? Oh, man, sorry to hear about your migraine. And it's raining? Rainy day migraine. We are here to cure you, my dear. And I know I'll behave. They better behave. I can't speak for these crazies and these white devils, but I know I will. Yeah, Chris, I'm not looking to illegally stream Double or Nothing. I want to pay for it. I'm just hoping there's a way to do that other than pay-per-view, you know? What are they chronicling here? Or what is this a promo for? Yes, C-Mac, I'll be live for Money in the Bank. That's for sure. Thanks for the $2, Nathan Hansen. Oh, I know. The Saudi show was announced. It's going to be called Super Showdown. Wow. Real creative. Didn't they already do a Super Showdown in Australia? Shouldn't this one be called the Greatest Super Showdown? That's what I put on Twitter. Oh my god, like I give a shit the name. I'm sitting this one out, man. I've been saying it on my last couple episodes. I just had an uneasy feeling after I watched the last one and did like a review on it. I'm like, man, this is stupid. You know, this is just such a horrible show, and it's all done for money, and it's just kind of disgusting. It makes me feel dirty. And I don't want to fucking watch it, and I'm not going to. So I've completely changed my tune on it. I was still equally as disgusted with what was going on last time, even prior to watching the show, but I kind of tuned in and looked at it anyway. But I don't want to see Goldberg and Taker. I don't care. I hope they have a good match and everybody survives. All right, so this entire thing was about Money in the Bank. I thought I saw Shawn Michaels in this video package, so I was like, what is going on? Well, they're trying to hype this match. I mean, on paper, this is a beautiful affair. Seth and AJ. If you want to be a wrestling fan and ignore all the stupid writing and just appreciate a wrestling match, you can't get a better example of that than right here. But I think the build's been just mediocre at best, even on its greatest night. C-Mac, thanks for the $2, brother. Appreciate it. I'm not sure if we're going to see a title change in this one. You know, I wouldn't put anything past the WWE just because they are probably a little bit freaked out about some of the ratings and the issues going on and the fans and shit. So they might do something crazy. But with two people winning briefcases, and I think Becky's going to drop one belt, I think that might be all you need. Universal and World title, maybe stay put. Please don't replay this dump truck scene, or this dumpster scene from last week. God. I can't believe they did this. Why didn't Braun Strowman just pick up the dumpster and dump it in the back of the truck himself? He's that strong, right? He's tipped over trucks. He can definitely pick up that dumpster. All those things are heavy as shit. They're like fucking solid iron.
Trash compactor didn't turn Sami Zayn into a cube. That was last week. Tonight's about the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, which I won last year. And there's no one that can stop me from climbing that ladder, taking that briefcase, and becoming Mr. Monster in the Bank for the second year.
Oh yeah, that's what we want. We want Monster in the Bank to be repeated 1,000,000 times an hour.
Mr. Strowman, Shane McMahon would like to see you in his office. Like to see him in his office, huh?
Did Strowman dye his shit black? Or is it just the lighting? Hi, Charm. Alright, Strowman is off to Shane's office. I wonder what Shane has to say. I have a feeling I know, because I read the spoilers. But I won't tell y'all. Mike Witt, thanks for the $5. I turned off Raw just hanging out with you guys after the last few weeks, or after the last week's Revival fiasco. I'm boycotting. Well, at least when you're boycotting, you're actually boycotting. I respect that. So many people who are boycotting the WWE continue to watch it. I'm like, don't act like you'd stop watching it. Well, what else are you going to complain about online? That there's no show. But that's my version of boycotting. If I don't like something, I'm not watching it. I mean, if I wasn't doing this stream with you guys, there's no way I would be watching this shit straight through. I'd be watching YouTube. Or maybe watch a replay stream and fast forward through the bullshit, which is, I don't know, all of it. And just get the gist of what's going on. Otherwise, sitting through this, hell no. At least I get to talk to you guys. I mean, I think we've sat here and talked about tuna fish sandwiches before, you know, in the middle of a boring Raw segment. So at least we can keep each other occupied, you know? Yeah, good for you, We Are Pro Wrestling. That's your birthday, the Saudi show? Yeah, do something else besides that. It's just a dirty, filthy situation, you know? Makes me want to, like, immediately take a shower, you know, whenever I watch something like that. But the funny thing about that is we hadn't gotten a name. WWE hadn't named this dumb thing yet, so I think they couldn't think of one. And they were just like, I'll just call it Super Showdown again, fuck it. Like that, I bet you anything that's the way the meeting went down. Because otherwise, if you're getting a couple people together to decide what to name this, how does that conversation go? Any other way than that I just described? That has to be it. Yeah, fuck it. That's pretty much all they said. We already got our money, or we're getting our money. I mean, Goldberg and The Undertaker, I would expect to completely walk through this. You know, I would not do... I mean, I would go out there and just... Basically, look, there's an old match from 1997. WWE did a tournament for, like, the Intercontinental title. And fellow Hart Foundation members had to face each other in the tournament. Owen Hart and Brian Pillman. And it was almost like what Shawn and Triple H did when Shawn passed the European title to Triple H and they did that bogus match. It was kind of like that, but even more funny. They were just putting like half-ass arm bars on each other. It looked like something you would see in Japan. So I hope, I wish I could remember that. It was probably, must have been when Austin had to forfeit or something. It must have been in that tournament after Austin got pile driven. Is probably where that match was. Yeah, right before he died, actually. If it was my guess. But just the way to watch them walk through the moves like that was hysterical. So I kind of hope that Goldberg and Taker do something like that at the Super Showdown. Hi, Chris Lee. We talked about you last week. Chris Lee should be the general manager of, what did we say, AEW? Or he could be Monday Night Raw. Might as well. USA Network, same channel. And in the opening segment with Miz and Roman and Elias and Lashley, he could have just came out and been like, y'all, we're going to have a tag team match now. Or whatever. Okay, there's Sammy. So Shane's office is just a curtain and a flat screen TV. No desk, chair, phone, water cooler, printer.
That's why I asked the McMahons to make things right.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it? Well, we're just discussing it. The grievance, and we're talking
He's going to make things right by taking you out of the Money in the Bank ladder match. And
yeah, Strowman shouldn't be in that damn thing to begin with.
Hold on a second. I can't just give you Braun Strowman's opportunity at Money in the Bank ladder match. I just can't do that.
Hey, Shane, that's fine. I'll fight him for it.
Really?
Yeah, I'll fight him for it tonight.
Sammy's challenging Strowman?
You can make it a Falls Count Anywhere match. So that maybe this time I can throw him in a dumpster and see how he likes it.
Should switch you on.
Yeah.
You know, because Braun's supposed to take on Drew McIntyre tonight.
Shane, I'm sure you could come up with something else for Drew McIntyre to do tonight.
Okay, then. Then here it is. Falls Count Anywhere. Sami Zayn versus Braun
Sammy Strowman.
Goes on to Money in the Bank and is in the ladder match itself.
Falls Count Anywhere match. The winner goes to Money in the Bank. So Strowman can either keep his spot or lose his spot here. And that's Falls Count Anywhere. Cool. Joey G, thanks for the super chat. I'll answer that in a second. Who's coming out here? Oh, Mojo. I didn't know about this. If I read the spoilers, I glossed over this. Nice weird looking hoodie, Mojo. Doesn't look weird at all. What's going on with your face? When did you start that? That's what Luna Vachon used to do to the side of her head. We got lightning bolts on your head. Damn, he didn't even get in the ring. They're already playing his opponent's Music? That's crazy. Joey G, do I have a super chat to answer? I think I do. Any dream matches that would still be good today? Any ones that that are left? I'm not sure. I know we can think of some. Y'all got to help me out with that. That paint on his face just looks stupid. It's already coming off. What is it? Oh, it's the cracking of the mirror, right? Okay. So it's not little lightning bolts? Hey, Tar, what's going on? Thanks for the $2. Just stopping by to see what's up. We're watching Monday Night Raw. Not live, but taped from London. Oh, Cruz? That's a work. He's not really hurt. Cena and Kenny Omega, that'd probably be a damn good match. Shawn versus The Rock. That would have been one. Why are you yelling at him, Mojo Rawley? Settle down, bro. Fucking weirdo. Oh man, he's gonna hit him here and pin him, isn't he? Damn. All right, not sure why you're screaming at us, but whatever. You want a match, good. Fatal 4-way. Natalia, Naomi, Alexa, and someone else. Dana, I think.
This is your job. Has everyone here lost their minds? What? Just because some D-list actress over here has a baby? So what?
Alexa, I bet you're really not even on the phone. I bet you're acting.
No one's losing luggage there. All of my gear was in that bag.
Oh, you lost your luggage?
Excuse me, I'm an American celebrity, okay? Which means that my luggage is your priority. So find it.
I'm sure that will help.
Alexa.
Nikki.
Is everything okay?
Why is she all normal here?
Honestly, I don't know how you grew up over here, Nikki. I mean, everyone's so hard to deal with, and it has been a travel week from hell. But thank you for asking. You know, not everyone here is as nice as you are, and I could really use someone to talk to. I've been here for 4 weeks. I don't think anyone had noticed I was even here. No. It's just
What are they doing with Nikki Cross? Why is she all like, ugh?
I feel bad I haven't gotten
They're not turning into a boring ass stump on a log, are they?
Oh, now look at me. I'm just rambling on, giving you my issues. I'm so sorry. Stop.
Stop. Wait.
You can talk to me, Alexa.
Oh, I know what her gimmick is. To be the worst actress that ever lived, right?
Coming untied, which was really embarrassing, and now
That must be it.
my gear's not here, and I'm supposed to be in this fatal 4-way match, and I just don't want to go out there and have everyone.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
No one likes to be laughed at. It sticks with you, and it's hard to get over. You could go to the McMahon family and tell them what's going on, and maybe they could help find you so that we're
Got some super chats to answer.
You do that for me? Do what? Take my place in the fatal 4-way match tonight. I mean, it would be an incredible opportunity to compete against these women, but then it's settled.
I don't like this Nikki Cross. I hope she's fronting.
Thank you.
I hope she's pulling a Bray Wyatt on us. And she's still fucking schizo underneath. Or maybe she was. Now she's smiling. Okay, maybe that was the plan. Alright, she did that on purpose. She's really not that lame. Phew. That smile might have spoiled it. Hi, Becky. I forgot. How many belts do you have again? How many was it? What do you call yourself? Something about a couple of belts. Chris, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the $5. Out of all the Money in the Bank winners, who had the most memorable cash in? Your pick is Edge, beating Cena or RVD at One Night Stand. Oh, beating Cena or RVD One Night Stand. Yeah, those might be my two as well. I love the first one. RVD's I liked because it wasn't like a cash in of like an opportunity of somebody getting their ass kicked, which they've now done to death. He actually cashed it in, picked a time and place for the match, which I thought was good. To do that every now and then. I'm trying to think what other ones I liked. You what, M8? Thanks for the $2. How do I feel about this Raw? Feel about exactly the way I figured I would feel about it. Not so great. But whatever. What can you do? We're less than an hour in, y'all. Jesus. I'm not gonna make it. Her luggage is gonna show up missing all her underwear. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping whatever Nikki Cross did there. I came across a story. I didn't read it. I think I even just saw it on Twitter. I think I didn't care to click on the article, but I did pass across something that said about a Nikki Cross character change or potential character change. Maybe this is part of it. But I'm just hoping that little smirk, that smile she gave at the end there, was the reveal that there is still a completely schizophrenic maniac underneath there. But now she's just putting on that front. That would be better. If she's really this lame, hell no, they can't do that with her. So I think she's just maybe trying to fool people, manipulate people. Now she's found herself in a match here for some reason, and she seemed happy about it. Maybe she'll start being obsessed with Alexa and stalking her. That would be cool. Benji UK, you were there, and Nikki is crazy. Yeah, I read quick results tonight, or quick results of the spoilers, but I don't recall what I even read about Nikki Cross doing anything, so it'll be new to me, whatever she does tonight. I'm gonna go over to the Twitter and see if anybody has anything to say to me over there. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if they'll take it as far as the Mickie James and Trish with Nikki and Alexa, but who knows? I hope Nikki acting all quiet and kind of subdued there is only a result that she's crazier than she was before. And if she starts getting mixed up with Bray Wyatt, that would be awesome. Oh, we're doing the contract signing now, huh? This is the double contract signing, by the way. Oh, Michael Cole, eat a dick. The same night, you say, Michael Cole? Wow.
First, the challenger for the Raw Women's title. Please welcome the sassy Southern Belle, Lacey.
Michael Cole, I really don't like it when you say the word sassy. It's horrible. What's the verdict on Lacey Evans' theme? Do we like her theme or do we not like her theme? Does it fit her? Does it not fit her? What do y'all think? I'm not going to tell you what I think. I want to see what you think. Yeah. Yep. Just a contract signing. Nothing to see here. Everybody's just going to sign their paper and go about their business. Probably go in the backstage area and have a salad. I love how Michael Cole has 2 earpieces in. He's probably got one of them things up his ass, too. So Vince can talk through his ass. Alright, well, none of these girls are really dressed to fight. Charlotte might have an explosion if she tries to get physical. But somebody's going to get beat up, we know that. Nobody likes it? Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of it either, but I think it kind of fits her. Oh, Charlotte dissed that fan and his kid. Charlotte, you are such a twat. But that's why you're awesome. Yeah, I got a sour taste in my mouth about Lacey Evans' theme song because of just something funny that happened at work a couple weeks ago. For some reason, I had the song in my head, and it stayed in my head for like 8 hours. And by the time I got home and got it out of my head, I never wanted to hear it again. But I have no idea what's wrong with me, why it was in my head to begin with, but it was for many, many hours. So now I just don't want to hear it. God, I hate Michael Cole's announcements. And the way he stares at you. Ew. Alright, here comes Becky. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab another cold beverage before Becky starts calling people dopes and weirdos. I'll be back in 20 seconds. Alright, here we go. Contract signing. Alright, be right there.
Before you sign both contracts, I need to ask you this question. It seems like your never back down
Alright, I'm back.
has led you to biting off more than you can chew. Do you realize how grueling it's going to be Sunday when you defend?
What are the fans doing? Becky, 2 belts. Well, the fans like her. Now, I will agree that some things with Becky Lynch are a little bit overdone, but I think it's getting to the point now where a lot of fans want to attack her for everything and claim that everything she says is overexposed. Let's not get crazy here. There's some things that I think WWE is doing wrong with her, but still, we like Becky. Just the act of her cutting a promo is not getting old. Every wrestler cuts a promo every week on TV. It's some of the other things that are weird to me.
So you can talk about biting off more than I can chew or being under pressure, but when the bright lights hit, Lacey, you're gonna feel the crippling pressure of having to back up everything that you've said while the champ stomps down on the back of your neck.
Someone explained to you how Charlotte got a title shot. Somebody explained to you how like a 7-time world champion got a title shot. I don't think you need that explained to you. It's totally fine to not like it and hate it. But don't pretend it doesn't make sense. Incorrect. TKO. Brock Lesnar's not even on TV. He comes back and gets title shots. You should be more mad about that. At least she's there every week.
You've got everything you ever wanted. And you still have to make digs.
You don't even, Stunner doesn't think I'm wearing underwear during the streams. Oh, I am. I've got a nice array of thongs. Tonight is purple.
You just can't win.
You just can't win. She did win.
Miss Flair, if I may say, it's nice to see that I'm not the only one with enough decency to show up to such a formal event dressed appropriately.
I mean, if Lacey winds up getting on the map in the next, like, year, I don't think she's going to beat Becky, but if eventually she wins the title, like maybe in a few months or something, creates a little legacy for herself, you can build for an eventual Lacey and Charlotte a year from now. Don't rush it. But, I mean, you need new opponents for everybody, you know, for all your top people, men and women. I think Lacey's got a chance to break out and be one of them people.
And Charlotte,
But I'm still not putting the belt on her on Sunday.
you're walking into our match with that little voice in the back of your head reminding you that I made the history you thought that you were owed. Now, you were born into wrestling royalty, groomed by the McMahon.
Did Becky and Seth travel together? They got to get a separate suitcase just for all the gold.
Delivering now, have you? Seems like you're really gonna have to bring this one home now, ain't you, Shark? Pressure, pressure.
Hot dog boxers, yeah. I wear those too.
So, at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, one of you dopes can't afford to lose your first title match, and the other one can't afford to lose their million. Seems like I'm not the only one under pressure.
You could play with the Charlotte match too. You could have Becky Lynch beat Lacey Evans, and then Charlotte either beats a weakened Becky Lynch later on to win the SmackDown title and take it back to SmackDown, or maybe Lacey interferes and helps Charlotte win. Continuing the feud with Lacey and Becky over on Raw, sending Charlotte to SmackDown, and then maybe Lacey takes the belt at SummerSlam or something, you know?
Beat the baddest woman on the planet.
Charlotte winning the belt on Sunday isn't going to fuck anything up.
Still not enough for you.
Pretty much the only way they can go here.
You had to go name yourself Becky Two Belts. Building up this reputation that you just can't live up to. And all of this is gonna come crashing.
And another thing about these three girls, I think they're all decent on the mic. Lacey's great. Charlotte's an asshole. We all love her. Or everybody hates her. I love her. I love her as a heel.
Because not even
And Becky, aside from the dope and the weirdo thing, is pretty good too.
can hide your jealousy,
Three of the best they got.
your insecurities. And at Money in the Bank,
But I don't want Charlotte to win.
be able to blame
Tough shit.
your stubborn pride when you bow down to the queen.
All right, Charlotte. Whatevs.
This is exactly the point I've been trying to prove. The WWE Universe deserves a legitimate lady to set the proper example as champion. And now we have all listened to him. Classless example as a champion. And now we have these young women being led astray by your classless, confusing behavior. But it's time that I clean up the
It's another reason why I think they're definitely going to do a belt switch here and get one of them off of Becky is because otherwise they just make this a triple threat, you know? Giving Becky two different matches gives them a chance to yank one of them belts off her. I'd rather keep Becky on Raw.
Because the fact is, there is no way you're going to take out two real ladies, such as Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans.
You want to see me swing something? Come a little closer, I dare you. Come on, I give you a free shot. No?
When does the fighting start?
Right here. That's what I thought. Go ahead, show her that women's right, Lacey, and break that glass
I don't
jaw.
want to get this dress dirty, sweetheart.
There we go. Well, I mean, Becky, of the three of them, is more dressed to fight. At least she's wearing Chucks. Charlotte's out there in heels, and so's Lacey. I could not wrestle in heels. I can do other things in heels, like I go to the store and stuff wearing them, but wrestling would be a whole different story. It'd be hard. Trying to throw a drop kick or something.
There's no way Becky Lynch is going to be able to withstand two individual matches against Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans to retain both championships. These are as impossible as odds get in sports entertainment.
Oh, they're gonna put her through a table. Setting it up. Brian, no, I'm not going with the same night cash in this year. I'm going no on that. We saw it last year. I don't think that needs to become a thing. Do it every now and then so it's fun when it happens. If you start expecting it every year, I think it takes away from the memorableness of it. And Becky goes through a table at the hands of Charlotte and Lacey. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I just think, just for what you want to do going forward in storyline, you got to just get one of those belts off of Becky so you can have them on each show again. And Becky, I think, should stay on Raw, continue her feud with Lacey, and send Charlotte back to SmackDown, because there's no reason to continue the feud between Charlotte and Becky. Jesus. Wow, look at that. That's a pretty cool visual. I mean, it's possible that Becky drops both of them, but I think that's unlikely. Give this stupid belt back to Charlotte. Put her on SmackDown. Let someone beat her there for it. Doesn't have to be the Money in the Bank. It can be anybody. And I'm certainly in no rush to see the briefcases cashed in. The man and the woman who win it can hold it for 6 months for all I care. Hold it until January. Big H, what's up? Good to see you. Somewhat decent audience, but, you know, despite the fact that Raw's been asked the last few weeks. Smash that thumbs up if you haven't yet already. I'd appreciate it. Alright, Firefly Funhouse still not yet ruined. Let's see if we can go another week with being entertained by it. Mike Witt, yeah, I know everybody is sick of Charlotte, but Charlotte ain't going anywhere. You're going to have to get over that. Thanks for the $2. I remember back in the day when Nikki Bella was the Divas Champion and Charlotte and some of those girls were coming up in NXT, and then Charlotte hit the main roster and she was immediately positioned as the cornerstone, you know, or the centerpiece of the entire women's division, and the fans loved it. Screaming at the top of their lungs to put the belt on a real wrestler. Now look at them. They want nothing to do with her. All of a sudden she sucks now. Same thing with Roman Reigns. All of a sudden, they can't cut promos. All of a sudden, they don't know how to wrestle. Instead of just saying, I'm sick of the way WWE pushes them. Where they try to justify it by saying, oh, she can't do this, and she's going to do that, and her last name is Flair. And that's why she's getting the opportunities. Well, you weren't saying that in 2015, because she was much closer to getting those opportunities because of her last name in 2015, because she was closer to when she started training, and without the last name Flair, she might have not been brought right into the fold. She might have had to work a little harder, go to wrestling school, and find her way up. So she got all those opportunities way back in 2014 and 12, 13, 14, all those years she was training. Not one of you bitched about. Now all of a sudden that she's a 7-time world champion, it's just because of her name. Y'all are all hypocritical fucks with this Charlotte shit. Every damn one of you. WWE has given her a lot of opportunities, but that doesn't mean she doesn't know how to wrestle and shit. You know what I mean? Same thing with John Cena. Dude has match of the year candidates every year, but fans say he can't wrestle. Well, people who can't wrestle don't have yearly match of the year candidates. And sometimes they win match of the year. Every year. Can't be all his opponent. John Cena sort of has to know what he's doing a little bit. Can you give him a sliver of credit? Nope, fans never could. And now we're getting to this level of lunacy with Charlotte. It's insane. I get being sick of her. I kind of feel the same way about Charlotte that I do about Roman Reigns a lot of the times. You know, it's just like, oh my God, enough with the Roman Reigns already. But I don't take it to the level of, oh, they should let her go. They should fire her. Too much Charlotte. That's why people don't take comments like that seriously. You know? Robert, you might... I mean, Becky's going to retain both belts. I think it's possible, but I think no, because I think WWE's making these matches as a way to get one of those belts off of her. They got a great opportunity here. And it all depends on the order of the matches, you know, and when they come. I mean, Becky could defend both belts before the Women's Money in the Bank match even happens, and then there's no threat of a cash-in. But I think it would be better for Becky to survive Lacey Evans and beat her clean, drop the belt to Charlotte later on, and then you've done it. And now Becky is a weakened Becky because she had a match earlier on, so technically it keeps her strong, puts the belt back on Charlotte, ends that whole feud, and you can separate them now finally. And then Becky goes back to Raw with the belt to continue her feud with Lacey Evans and potentially still drop the belt to her down the road. If Ronda Rousey ever comes back, Becky's there waiting for her. The best place for Becky right now is Raw. Not SmackDown, not on both shows. That's too much Becky. That's why she gets overexposed and fans are going to start turning on her. So just put her on one show and leave it alone. And the best way to do that with the match that they've given us, because I can't change the match. Nothing I can do about that. But as far as the matches that we have for Money in the Bank, sorry, Charlotte needs to win. I know it sucks. I know it's horrible. Speaking of horrible, Baron Shit Breath is in the ring. Oh, you got your little logo on your vests now? Good. Yeah, I'm sure you are. I don't think Applebee's... London, y'all don't have Applebee's, do you? Who's he wrestling? Oh, Ricochet. Oh, yeah, I did read this one. Yeah, I will never... I'm with you, Razor. I will never disagree with fans who are just, like, kind of turned off by WWE's booking. 1,000,000% I agree with you there. But, man, when the fans start not liking someone, they start making up reasons that don't exist every time. Instead of just saying what the truth is, you know, that WWE can shove motherfuckers down our throats sometimes. And it gets old, and it does get annoying. But to pretend that Charlotte, you know, doesn't deserve championships and shit, get the fuck out of here. You were all up her ass in 2015. All of a sudden now she sucks. And they do that with everybody. They do that with everybody they start getting mad at. And they bury the initial truth and the premise of the real problem that does exist, and they just bury it with all their stupid complaining, whining bullshit that renders their initial complaints obsolete or wrong. Now you're just looking stupid. If you put Ricochet, who's one of the most talented athletic people I've ever seen in my life in wrestling, you start putting him on, giving him opportunities like Charlotte, you're going to start hearing people say Ricochet can't wrestle. He relies too much on his flips. That's what they'll say. 100%. My God, Baron Corbin, can you imagine him winning this briefcase? Man. You hope Charlotte wrestles until she is 50, Catherine? Well, she is likely to do that. And I also think, like, she's got, like, a pretty... It amazes me how the fans, like, turn on her like that. I can understand, like, a little bit of frustration, like I feel with her. But to turn on her to that degree to where they hate the sight of her and shit, like, that blows my mind. Because her story is actually pretty touching and heartwarming. You know, how she even got into wrestling and the tragedy. Tragic loss of Reed. You know, and how she never had any desire to be a wrestler. And she went and lived out her brother's dream as a tribute to him. And isn't going through the motions. She isn't like David Flair, somebody who's relying on their last name and getting opportunities and who sucks. She's not David Sammartino. She's great. And it turned out that she just happened to be a good wrestler. She took to wrestling. Like Kurt Angle took to it. Like Ronda Rousey took to it. Or somebody else coming in blind like that. And she became a really fucking good worker. And then now is pretty much the poster child of their women's division. So the story there that's told, I think, is every bit as interesting as Paige's story. But because she's a 7-time world champion, it gets old with the fans. And then they start making shit up as to why they don't like her. And why she doesn't deserve it. And why she's unworthy. I'm like, boy, how quickly they forget, you know? Same people bitching about her now on Twitter. You go back to their timeline in 2015. They were singing a different tune.
It's not just me you're gonna have to answer to.
WWE needs to do better about booking her effectively and creatively. Nothing she really needs to do. Just go out there and fucking wrestle. Hope for the best.
Go find it. We can do this. We can do this. Faster.
Corbin deserves a title shot. Oh my god. Let's hope that doesn't happen. It might, though. I mean, he's on my list. I think WWE wants to make him a big part of their show. Obviously, they do. But people are pretty turned off by him, and the ratings are showing it. So maybe any big plans they had for Corbin are maybe slightly changing. But he is also on my list as somebody that could win the briefcase because I think it's great when a heel wins. I already have my pick now, but Corbin is up there. Corbin, McIntyre, and one other guy. Hi, buddy. You're here. You got a cat in the house. I'll let you sit there. You don't have to say hi. Right. You're right. They, Bep Jr. People didn't want Becky to fight Charlotte again. That's the issue we're all having. Well, that's why you're not going to have to worry about it if Charlotte wins the fucking title, dude. That's what I'm saying. People are sick of Charlotte and Becky. So what? You get one more fucking match. So goddamn what? Let Charlotte win. I don't know how many times I have to fucking repeat this. Let Charlotte win the goddamn SmackDown title. Go to SmackDown and stay there with Becky going back to Raw. Now you got the two girls separated. They're not going to have any more matches unless they pull a wild card fast one on us. But now they're on separate brands, feuding with separate people. That's how you achieve that. So you have to go through it one more time just to get that match. And say we didn't get that match. Oh, people just are sick of Charlotte and Becky. Fine. Put Becky in the ring with somebody else on SmackDown. And have them win the title instead, if that will make you feel better. But you know what that means? They're going to go back to SmackDown with that title and be challenged by Charlotte. So either way, you're not getting away from it. This is the way to do it. Give her the belt, put her back on SmackDown. Now somebody can beat her over there. Charlotte's not going to hold the belt for a year. She's going to hold it till SummerSlam max. And she'll drop it to someone. Maybe Ember Moon or Bayley or the winner of the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's not that hard to wait like 3 months for something to happen, or 2 months, or whatever it is. So Charlotte either wins the belt here and then drops it in a couple months, or they have somebody else win the belt and drop it to Charlotte. Either way, Charlotte's going to be win as many world titles as her dad. And yes, WWE, I think, could book those a little bit more effectively than they have so far. But the being sick of Charlotte and Becky, that problem will be solved this Sunday if what I propose happens. Problem solved. So everybody should be fine. But it's a trade-off. Now you got a belt back on Charlotte again, and we all know the fans don't like that. Yeah, the brand split is almost dead. Yeah, that's right, it is, especially with the stupid wild card rule. But still, it's better than being on the same show. Much better. Because if Becky and Charlotte are on separate shows, they are going to have separate feuds. And we're not going to get a bunch of matches. So even though they're flip-flopping the talent, and they can still do that, and Becky and Charlotte might cross paths on TV, every now and then they're still going to be involved in separate shit, not together. If Charlotte winds up winning the belt and goes, and Becky comes to Raw. Oh my God, could you imagine that, Catherine? 8 years champion at once? Like them Bruno days. Joey G, thanks for the $2. Roman, Corbin, Charlotte, and Nia deserve the belt. Roman, Corbin, Charlotte, and Nia. Well, they've all had it except for Corbin. I mean, Nia got the big moment, you know. Remember a couple years ago, the big bullying thing with Alexa Bliss, and she won the belt at WrestleMania. Roman's won the belt at WrestleMania. Charlotte's won the belt at WrestleMania. Corbin is just out there waiting on tables at Applebee's and being a prick. And they're putting this asshole in the Money in the Bank match, which makes me nervous as hell. Robert, I don't think Charlotte will go to Raw. I mean, for right now, you still have a Raw belt and a SmackDown belt. So if she wins the SmackDown belt, it's going to be weird if she is on Raw. I think Charlotte will come to Raw and have some matches there. I thought they were going to move her here in the shakeup. But I don't know how you achieve Charlotte getting over to Raw unless you just throw her over there in the wild card rule or whatever. Thanks for another $5, Mike Witt. They just need to push more women than the other 3 or 4 same women all the time. And people like Ember, Bayley, Asuka, Nikki need more opportunities. You're right, and those opportunities I'm sure will come. Like another problem with the people who have a problem with the Charlotte match, it's like Money in the Bank is not the last wrestling show that's ever going to happen. And like I said, if you put that belt on Charlotte and you have Becky on Raw, Charlotte is now a champion that's ready to drop that belt to somebody on that roster. And on that roster, you have Bayley, you have Asuka, you have Nikki Cross, or is Nikki on Raw? I don't know where the hell Nikki Cross is. But you have people on the roster over there that she can drop the belt to, and will. You know, it's not like she's never going to drop the belt again. You know, she'll drop it to someone. WWE does feel like they have a core group of women that they push, but feels like that with the men too. Always has. And it's not a matter of just giving somebody a belt as like a reward. Oh, here's your hard work. Here's your belt. You know, like it's like a trophy that's passed around. You know, wrestling's never really operated that way. You know, there's been plenty of people in the 80s and 90s who deserved to win a belt and never did. Doesn't matter if you deserve it. Sometimes you just don't. And if you start rewarding rewarding belts to people who only deserve it, that's just life. It's like that's the same thing as giving away a participation trophy, you know, to kids who show up to a competition. Not everybody can be champion. And Corbin beat him. Oh my God, that's awful. What we have to hope for all these people who deserve world title wins is that WWE creatively can put them in interesting and compelling storylines, because one thing we know for sure is the talent roster is off the hook. Raw, SmackDown, and NXT are ridiculously full of good wrestlers. Like, unreal, the amount of talent that exists there. So, like, the in-ring wrestling isn't necessarily the problem right now. It's the storylines. It's how they further the angles and the storylines, and they hype the feuds and all this shit that is so awful and piss poor and boring and repetitive and uninteresting. It's awful. Could you imagine if we had a roster like 1995 going on with this shitty-ass writing? Things would be real bad. At least the workers are good. I don't think wrestling is the issue right now. The wrestling is on point. It's everything else that sucks. Oh, is he going to symbolically climb up the ladder and retrieve your little green briefcase? Well, hopefully Corbin is doing this now so he won't do it on Sunday. Oh, good. Ricochet's going to push him down. What time we got? Damn, we're only halfway through Raw, y'all. Yikes. Halfway through, buddy. Oh yeah, I forgot about Joe and Ray. U.S. title match. Scott Moss, thanks for the buck, dude. Appreciate it. When will WWE realize that Baron Corbin is the best? I don't know. Maybe one day, Joey. We can hope for, right? Somebody told me Dominic is 24. I was thinking he was still a minor, but yeah, I guess he would be kind of old. Oh, you did, How Weezy? I'm sorry, I didn't even see it. Oh, there it is. I see it now. Oh, the Robert Roode name change? I was fine with it. I'm fine with them tweaking some things up if he split from Gable. But he's not any different. He's losing every week. I don't think in the end it means anything. Which sucks. Another example of a former NXT champion brought up to the main roster to be absolutely useless. And Bobby Roode's good. He's another guy that I kind of wish would get out of there. Because he's in his 40s. He's still got some time to go get some paydays, maybe in All Elite or Japan or something, and have a few good, memorable matches, you know, in his career. But he's just spinning his wheels on Raw. Charlie is one of the shortest people in the world, and she has got a half an inch on Rey Mysterio, even with the mohawk. Oh yeah, Cesaro. I think they have a match, which is actually on paper a pretty awesome match. Five foot nothing. Even Charlie cracked a smile at that. Scott Moss, who would win, Braun Strowman or Zeus? Oh, Strowman all the way. Strowman's a wrestler. Zeus was nothing. Man, Zeus was awful. He was scary, though. Oh, they're fighting now? Get out of there, Charlie. Alright. Oh, referees just happen to be there. What is the cameraman doing? God damn. God, that's awful. I'm starting to get to the point where I hate every single thing about this show.
Tensions are obviously at an all-time high as 6 nights away is Money in the Bank. We know this man is focused and phenomenal.
Oh, I thought that was Dana Brooke for a minute. I'm like, who is that? Some interview girl? I remember, man, when Zeus came in, it was so crazy after the movie, and, you know, he was a scary dude. I mean, he was big. He was definitely big enough to be a wrestler, big enough to feud with Hogan, but had, like, no wrestling training at all. And they're putting him in pay-per-view matches and shit. Main event pay-per-view matches. I think he main evented SummerSlam in '89. But, I mean, as a kid, you believed it, you know? JD, why is Lacey Evans so cringy? I don't hate Lacey Evans. I think she's really good on the mic. I'm not a huge fan of the gimmick and stuff, but I think I'm really pleased with how comfortable she looks when she's talking. I think she's good. I think her character will evolve, and she'll get better, and she'll probably get opportunities. I'm actually, like, I see potential in Lacey. I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100% fan of her gimmick or anything, But I think overall, under all that lies a pretty decent worker and talker who I think can go places in wrestling. I'm wishing her all the best. Yeah, well, most everything Zeus did was multi-man affairs. He was in a ton of tags with Savage, not just at SummerSlam. They did a cage match around Christmas time. Zeus worked Survivor Series with a bunch of guys, so he was protected as best as possible, but he was probably one of the least trained people they've ever put in the ring.
Carry out large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99. Domino's Carry Out Insurance has you covered. 'Cause stuff happens. Stuff like this. Just bring it back and we'll remake it for free.
Robert Larry, I mentioned the potential feud down the line between Charlotte and Lacey a while ago, but I want to like hold it off. I want to like build Lacey up for a while, to where you get to the point where you want to see her and Charlotte clash one day. You know, when the wild card shit is going to render this whole brand split completely useless in any way, but if you can keep them on separate brands and away from each other and feuding with different people for as long as possible, give Lacey the belt sometime down the road, not at Money in the Bank, but maybe sometime down the road. She'll take the belt, create a little legacy, and go on a little rise and a push, and then maybe, I don't know, WrestleMania time? You do Lacey Charlotte? I do something like that. I think, you know what I would also do with Lacey is maybe have her win the Royal Rumble. You know, if she goes the whole year without grabbing gold, maybe have her win the Rumble or something would be all right. And then maybe she can go on to WrestleMania to challenge Charlotte. And who knows what belt Charlotte will hold by then. Charlotte could be on Raw holding the Raw belt by the time we get to next year's WrestleMania, for all we know. But if Charlotte is a champion, I'd put Lacey as the winner of the Rumble and set them up for a clash at WrestleMania. But with WWE, not only will they probably not wait until WrestleMania to do that match, they'll probably do it in 3 weeks. So, don't listen to me. Mike, thanks for another $2, dude. You are too kind. Best thing about Raw has been Bray. Agree? Lately, yes. At least the Bray Wyatt thing is like funny and weird and creepy and somewhat scary. Scott Moss, thanks for another 99 cents, man. I appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. Renee, I like. What is this now? Is this a big-ass Elias and Roman Reigns video package? Alright, while they're airing this, I'm going to make a pick stop. I'll be right back. I can't watch that. All right. All right, we're still talking about Roman Reigns. That's great. Pretty much my favorite thing to do. Did I get some super chats while I was gone? Joey G, Dream Bra and Panties match participants. Oh man, there's too many to pick. I don't know if I can confidently answer that question in 2019. This was 2003. We could have a whole 3-hour show on this. I think the funny thing about that, Joey, your question, now that I think about it, I think we've already gotten them. I mean, there's a whole bunch of beautiful women on the roster, clearly, but, you know, some of the all-time, like, most Roll Tide divas we've ever had in the WWE have all had bra and panties matches. We've seen Trish and Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson and and all of them, to me, my dreams are already satisfied. And any sort of Raw or SmackDown replays on the network from 2001 to 2005 are probably pretty sweet, with all sorts of good stuff. I watched one of them live. I was at what year was it? I was at Judgment Day in maybe 2003. I remember like Brock Lesnar and Big Show or something, and there was a big bra and panties match, or maybe not a bra and panties match, but a bikini contest with like Sable and Tori. I remember that. I remember the Guerreros having a match. I don't even remember what happened on that pay-per-view, but I was there. The one thing I remember about that pay-per-view the most was the set. I thought the set looked awesome. Where was I? I was either in Virginia. I don't know where that pay-per-view was. All I know is I was there. It was either in Virginia or North Carolina. Yeah, Kairi Sane is another one on the roster that I think will, have some big success, although right now she's with Asuka. But now there you go, Catherine, putting in your 2 cents. Boxers versus Briefs match, top contenders, Seth Rollins versus Adam Cole. That's interesting. That's great. I'm not making a vote on that. If it was Boxers versus Briefs match, I would probably go Big Show, Mark Henry. That's what I'd like to see. Maybe just a Briefs match. Mark Henry and Big Show. Yeah, I saw the Sable and Tori live. At least I think I'm going by memory here. All I remember at that show, they were both in the ring and both in bikinis. Why? I don't know. I'm assuming it was a contest. But could have been anything. I had good seats for that show, too. I was on the hard cam side, so everything was facing me, and I was almost in the middle. I was just off to the side of where the cameras were. They block off that little section. I was like right over there. So I had a great view of everything. Who is she? I swear there's a new one every week.
This Sunday at Money in the Bank, the phenomenal AJ Styles. AJ, we've seen earlier tonight, you've gotten the better of Seth Rollins the last 2 weeks here on Raw, but people are questioning your methods.
They're going to question everything. They question whether or not
the guy community.
Seth Rollins on purpose with a phenomenal form. Well, let me answer that question. It was meant for Baron Corbin. But when you disrespect me, I'm going to fight you.
Catherine, I don't appreciate these visuals you're filling my head with. Stop before I freak out.
Rollins, is it not? This is his show. At least until I showed up. You see, I came to the WWE with a huge chip on my shoulder, and that chip hasn't gone anywhere. It got me a chance, an opportunity to be the Universal Champion. You see, this Sunday at Money in the Bank, I'm walking in the challenger, but I'm walking out the new Universal Champion.
I'm curious what they do, actually, in that match. If Seth does, in fact, retain, does he win clean, or do they set up a rematch between the two? And do you factor in when and if you factor in the men's Money in the Bank winner, and where the spot on the card of all these matches are? If some of these title matches take place before the Money in the Bank, then it's a non-issue anyway. What are we getting here? Here's Naomi. Oh, this is the Fatal 4-Way, right? That weird-ass Nikki Cross came and replaced Alexa in. Sasha Tanks. She would be good in the old, what was the WCW faction kind of near the end there? With like Major Guns and What was the guy from Louisiana's name? Cajun Sensation. What the hell was his name? I forgot his name. The red-haired kid. She could be in that faction. Speaking of Louisiana.
So hurry in to get 4 tenders and a biscuit for just $3.99.
Yeah, Naomi's career, she did take a bit of a nosedive. What has she done so far? She won the Battle Royal, right? 1 year. She didn't win the I know she's been women's champion. I don't remember how she won the belt. I know she had it for a little while. Mike Witt, hottest diva in WWE history. Yours is Melina? Melina's an interesting one. She wouldn't be my pick. Lash LaRue, thank you. Thank you. Now, I talked about all our favorite divas before. It's kind of tough to... I might go Stacy Keibler 1, Tori Wilson 1A, Miss Elizabeth 1B. Filthy Animals. No, they weren't the Filthy Animals, were they? Filthy Animals were like Rey Mysterio, right? What was the military guys? Misfits in Action, thank you. And it had like Hugh Morris, right? God, that was awful. Kind of looks pretty good compared to what we're looking at now. But I remember those later years in WCW had some really weird shit. Filthy Animals, Misfits. I know there was another one. You had the LWO for a while, which I thought was dumb. LWO was still better than Mexicools, though. At least the LWO wasn't coming out in fucking lawnmowers. Ugh. I should go back. It's been so many years since I watched that stuff. I should actually go back and watch a couple of years of, or sit through, or suffer through maybe a couple of years of Monday Nitro from like 99, 2000, when WWE was just beating the shit out of them, and just see what they were trying to do. Because I mean, man, the quality of the product just got so much worse. As Gorilla Monsoon would say, the pendulum has swung a complete 180 degrees. General Rection. I remember that. Was that Lash LaRue's name? Or was that Hugh Morris's name? Fucking General Rection. My God. Who's falling asleep watching to me? You can fall asleep to Raw, but with me here, you should be wide awake, Jack. Yeah, Nitro was brutal at the end. I remember I was such a fucking fanboy, pretty much. I mean, I was just so much on the side of WWE in this particular war. I just thought they had a far better product, and if only one company was going to survive, I did not want it to be WCW, because they just seemed so fucked up to me. So a lot of those final years, I would watch Nitro only to rag on it, just to shit on it. Because I'm like, look how bad this is. You know, over on Raw, you got Austin and The Rock and Mankind and Triple H and just all these awesome, crazy storylines and awesome shit all around the board. Hot crowds, sellout crowds. And on Nitro, it was like the opposite. It looked like the complete opposite of that, basically. No fan interest at all. Messed up, convoluted storylines that made no damn sense. Complete picked through talent roster to where you had nobody left but a bunch of new guys. A lot of talented guys, but guys that weren't established yet. So all of a sudden you're going from Hogan, Sting, Goldberg, Hall, Nash, Piper to Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Hare and guys like that. It just... they fucked it all up. Dana Brooke. Everybody's got their little routine when they come. That's so annoying. Like the men and women, but especially the women. They all have to come out, stop on the stage, and do something. Like, why not just walk to the ring? This is like the overproduction shit that I just hate so bad. Everybody's got to do a little dance. Not everybody used to do that. Back in the Attitude Era, you know, guys, you notice that about every single wrestler. When their entrance happens, they come out to the ramp and they stop for all the fucking camera shots or to do their little dance number, and then they proceed to the ring. You know, you had some talent do that in WWE, or do something as they came through, but now everybody does it. Watch, Natalya, is she going to walk straight or is she going to stop? Oh, she's going to walk straight. Natalya, you don't have a little dance? I remember back in the day, Rikishi used to come out and he'd do the thing with his nose and shit, and Crash Holly used to come out and do something like that where he'd like cup the balls. I don't know what that was even about. But man, it's just so stupid. And they're cutting to these little backstage promos, which are horrible. Chi bro. I'd almost forgotten about that. Thank you, Jamie and Shadow, for reminding me. You know what I also want to know randomly? Well, I guess they're in London. What makes them decide not to do the ramp one week, you know? Like, why just do the flat floor? Like, what goes into that decision? Why is Alexa's luggage even involved in this at all? Like, if they wanted to get her out of this fatal four-way or replace her, why did they come up with luggage as a way to do it? God. No, I was just watching some of the old billionaire Ted skits from back in the day. Oh, here comes Alexa for some reason. Oh, she's coming out for commentary. But they were making so much fun of WCW for doing the bit with the high heel shoe with Elizabeth and Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan and how lame and stupid that was. I'm like, this shit's 100 times worse than the high heel shoe shit from 96 or 5, whenever that was. Joey, thanks for another $2, dude. Remember when Benoit used to just walk to the ring? Yeah. A lot of guys did. Austin would just walk to the ring. Rock would just walk right out to the ring. But now, just for the production standpoint of it, everybody's got to stay, you know, Ricochet's got to come out there and do the thing and all the thing, you know? Like, everybody, man. Like, wrestling entrances used to be a really fun part of wrestling back in the 80s and 90s when entrances started becoming a little bit more of a thing. Theme music started being adapted, and in the 90s it got really nuts with the lighting and then the Titantrons and all of that. And a lot of that was a big part of the show and fun. But now it's like, I'm tired of entrances. They've overdone the entrance so much. And we've seen where, like, every single piece of talent has got to have this entire fucking routine of shit they do when they come out. And it just kills the originality of everything. I just, like, just simplify them a little bit. I don't care. Everybody has to have theme music and all that. I get that. But just simplify it a little bit more than what you're doing. It's like when they do Survivor Series teams, you know, just do it like the 80s and have everybody come out there to one theme song instead of fucking 5 damn entrances for each team. Naomi, that was a pretty good looking little twist there in that plancha. Oh, commercial. Papa John's commercial. Well, I'm hoping more than meets the eye there with Nikki Cross and whatever she's doing here. This new character being a little bit subdued is just a front to lead everybody into this, like, false sense of security, and then she strikes because she's completely insane. Something like that. Thank you, Mike Witt, for another one. Appreciate that. You are the MVP this week, and every week lately, seems like. Remember the faction in WCW? Yeah, with Kurt Hennig, Duncombe Jr., Barry Windham, they sing rap as crap. What was their name? Can't remember. It was the West Texas Rednecks. And I actually thought they were like a relatively over faction because they were entertaining. And I think WCW was such a mess. Those guys were kind of having fun with it. The rap, his crap song was stupid but really funny at the same time. And for some reason, they just really had it out for rap. I have no idea why these three rednecks took it upon themselves to hate on rap. Was a weird battle to fight, but they did, and it had its entertaining moments. It was a shame having a Bobby Duncombe and Kurt, for that matter. They both died pretty young. But I remember the song. I remember at the time, as bad as WCW was, that was one of the brighter moments. Didn't they bring in some rappers? Who was it? Who was the guy they brought in? I've met him before. I met him in Gastonia, North Carolina, when I was out there for a friend's wedding. And I stayed in this big hotel, and for some reason he was there. I forget his name. He was involved in that shit. Or maybe he was involved with the Misfits. Can't remember his name. Master P. Yes, I can. Master P. He might have been involved in that. It was getting weird. But the promos were good. And the song was funny. And the ridiculousness of Kurt Hennig and Bobby Duncombe and Barry Windham going out of their way to start a war with rap music was comical. Even though it was kind of dumb. No Limit Soldiers. That was their name? Damn, Joey. A year ago, you didn't know that Ziggler was one of the Spirit Squad dudes? That's pretty funny. I don't know. Is Master P a rapper? I don't even know what the hell he is. Is he still around? Rap is not crap. Rap is a hell of a lot better than country. And I'm not even a huge rap listener. But I definitely respect the artistic ability of rappers over country music stars. Just don't like them. Yes, nobody really talks about that. I mean, that was a really, really, really sad story about Dana Brooke's boyfriend died by choking. I remember when that happened. And I told the story of how I almost cashed out back in 2012. It was either 2012, 2013, when I choked at home alone and had to run out the front door hoping somebody would find me if I passed out. And I was able to cough it out at the last minute, right before passing out. Like, I almost bit the bullet, man. Or bit the big one. Kicked the bucket. But that's just a horrible tragedy. I felt bad. We all felt bad for Dana Brooke. It's been a while now. I'm hoping she's doing better. Probably a hard thing to suffer through. Oh, was Bliss shitting on Cole? I should be listening to that. I choked on a vitamin once. Not fun. Yeah, it is not fun. Mauro Ranallo recently as well. That's another reason why I brought this story up. Mauro Ranallo choked at a restaurant, and I think Frank Shamrock saved his life, gave him the Heimlich. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, I've been there. I mean, it amazed me what was going on in my brain when that was happening to me, because I was like making mental plans, split-second mental plans in my head to die. I was like, this is it. You know, wasn't expecting it to come this early, but it's here now, and I was almost like oddly accepting of it. I don't know what it was, or it was just kind of like I was telling myself, oh my gosh, shit, I'm dead. I still don't know how I got the thing out. I took a picture of it. This giant hunk of steak on the ground outside. I just took a picture. I was like, that was what was in my throat. Like, oh my god. My plan was to get to a neighbor's house and bang on the door, but I knew I wasn't going to make it. So I was like, well, shit, at least if I'm laying out here, somebody will see me. Why has Dana got a ladder? Well, Nikki's going nuts on Natalya here. They got a ladder out there for some reason. Damn, Catherine, in Mexico, of all the places to drown. Glad you're still here, man. See, we've all had things happen to us, you know? It's crazy. Life's dangerous. Dana dove off the top of the ladder. I don't know if that ladder was tall enough to grab the brass ring or not. But she put it all on the line for a meaningless Raw match, so props to her. I belong here. Man, they're not going to put the briefcase with Dana, are they? I mean, they've been kind of making it known that she hasn't done well on the roster. Hasn't won many matches. It's considered a glorified jobber at best. And now she's trying to prove herself. They're giving her a little bit of mic time. Might have even given her a win on TV recently. I don't know. None of us are paying attention. But, I don't know. Dana Brooke isn't out of the question. And Nikki wins. What do y'all think on the Dana idea? Any chance they put the briefcase on her? Or with her? I told her. Alexa thinks she won because she's the one that chose Nikki Cross. Well, that reminds me, I got to answer a couple of tweets here. Now, Nikki is helping Alexa put the ladder up. That ladder almost touches the briefcase. That's how tall it is. Oh, Alexa's going to climb up there? All right, Nikki, you better push her off or I'm quitting. All right, well, Alexa is holding the briefcase on the top of the ladder. And she's looking all right doing it. That's going to be the main, right? Sammy and Braun. We got an hour left? Jesus. Hasn't been 3 hours yet? Why, Sammy?
Because I fight for a cause. While Braun Strowman is merely a manifestation of your toxic fantasies and fetishes of being big and strong so that you dream of being able to plow through everything and get what you want. But unfortunately, that's not how life works.
Yeah, he's not talking to me. He's talking to everybody else. I don't have a big person fetish, Sammy. I don't have any fetish, really. I'm ready for McGee Hart too. Let's get rid of this. Get this Raw over with and get to that match, please. Did you just blow a kiss at me, Sammy? Nah, cool, bro. Oh, good. Pinata party. Oh, no, it's it's Rey Mysterio. My bad, Ray. I thought you were the pinata party. Damn, the tide sucked you down, cat. That's crazy. I swam a lot in the ocean in North Carolina when I lived there. I don't do it so much here in California, but I was in the ocean all the time swimming when I lived on the beach there. And some of like the rip currents and shit were no joke, man. And I'm a good swimmer, but they'll get you. That's scary shit, man. Probably won't stay on the stream for. Well, it depends on what WWE does. I don't want to stay on the stream and try to watch the documentary and talk over all that shit. But just for reacting to the match, I might. I'll probably likely sign off though. I don't think I'm gonna watch the documentary right after. I'm gonna get off the stream and probably just replay it later when I'm eating dinner or something. But I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, Alec, that is one big problem, is that the talent roster is so good. There is such a thing as having too much of it. And when you look at the rosters of NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, Jesus, pass the lotion. I mean, that's just an incredible amount of talent. You're not going to have any choice but to misuse a bunch of people. And I think there is too much. That's why I don't care when someone like Dean Ambrose or some other like semi-main event guy leaves, because that's good. Opens up the door for somebody else and puts another big piece of talent out there in the world outside of WWE to work. So I'm glad guys like Neville got away, and Jericho and Cody and Ambrose now. And anybody else who wants to leave. You know, if Charlotte's able to wiggle herself out of that contract with the Revival, or anybody else that's unhappy. You know, get the hell out of there, man. There's plenty more talent there to sustain everything, you know. It's not going to make or break the company for you not to be there. Somebody like Bobby Roode, another example. Spinning his wheels in WWE, but probably making a pretty good amount of money. But creatively, he's got to be miserable. So you can stay in WWE and be miserable creatively but make money, or leave and be happy creatively and maybe make a little bit less money. Just depends on what makes you more happy in life. And if I was in the situation where I had made a bunch of money and saved it and can afford, you know, to go maybe work a little bit more sane of a schedule for a little bit less money because I've already worked really hard and saved, that's what I would aspire to do, which is probably what Dean Ambrose has done. I'm sure the combined income, the dual income of him and Renee ain't too shabby. I think they got maybe $1 or $2 in the bank. So he left. Good for him. Still don't know what these weird little advertisements are that I'm watching. Anybody else have the streaming app DirecTV Now? Does anybody else use that? I've had it ever since I got I switched over to AT&T a couple years ago, and it like kind of came bundled in with my shit, and I've been using it ever since. Works. It's very basic though. They just recently added DVR, but I've got all the basic cable channels, and it's a streaming app. Is all it is, and that's what I use for cable. I think I pay like $10 a month for it with the discount or whatever, but not sure if anybody else uses it and what you think about it. And it's one of the few streaming services that, because I did a trial run of YouTube TV, and this DirecTV Now is one of the only streaming apps that I found that plays Monday Night Raw at actual time, because here in California, a lot of times if you're watching the USA Network on your cable provider, you have to wait till 8 p.m. local time, which is after the show already aired. But this app plays it at 5 here in California, so I'm in love with it. Otherwise, I'd have to be watching illegal streams like I used to have to back in the day when I lived here in California and couldn't find Raw Live with my cable provider. What is with these cell phone promos? Damn. I hate it when wrestlers pause in between sentences to look away and smile. That's annoying. Or they sniff. You're a little man to be talking that good, Rey Mysterio. Right? They all do that. You want your boy to be proud of you. They all do that. Who did Alabama Doink have the match with at Golden Corral? I saw a video of that. That was, oh man, wrestling. Is Cesaro really coming out to Sheamus' music? I thought they would go back to his old one. That's kind of weird that they're doing this. Does he just miss Sheamus? He misses his bro? Like, he had music. What happened to it? Sometimes I just forget how truly little Rey Mysterio really is. Yeah, what's up with Rey Mysterio's blue thong? Like, I can understand them using Sheamus' theme if they, like, maybe are developing a new theme for Cesaro. Then okay, maybe it's not ready yet. But he already had a theme. That is actually half of the theme he was using with Sheamus. Didn't they open with Cesaro's old theme? And then transfer in or fade into Sheamus's? Now it's just they eliminated that, and now he's just coming out there with Sheamus. That's just stupid. Why don't you just come out to fucking Duke the Dumpster Drosy's music until you finish off whatever you're doing with him. But I'm hoping behind the scenes they're working on a new theme for him. And now that the days of the bar are apparently over, I'm hoping that Cesaro has a slightly better spot on the card than Mojo Rawley. Yeah, what's the word on Dominic? Is he down at the PC training at all? I haven't heard of him down there, but the way they're featuring him on TV and kind of teasing that something's going to happen to him, he's going to get physical. He reminds me of, ooh, oh, Ray. Oh, he swung him into the barricade. But it reminds me of when Dusty Rhodes was near the end of his WWE run and they brought in Dustin. And he was like a 19-year-old or 20-year-old kid back then. And the $1 Million Man beat him up, hit him with a chair, like a wooden chair, and busted his head open. And it was like disturbing to watch. That was awesome. They should do something like that with Dominic. You're already beating up family members. It happens all the time. Even recently with Shane beating up the Miz's dad. Do I shine my head? Nope, don't shine it. If it looks shiny, it's just because I naturally glisten. You know what I mean? I can't help it. If you want to unsubscribe because I'm beautiful, go right ahead. I'll live. I don't think Sheamus retired. He's in his 40s though. If he did, that's news to me. Damn, a second rope vertical suplex, and he held him up. British Bulldog style.
Superplex, and here's the cover by Cesaro, and Mysterio stays alive as this match continues.
All right, commercial. 45 minutes left, y'all. We're getting there. Home stretch. It's like running a marathon. Which wrestler holds the most blame for the low ratings? No wrestler. I'm not putting the blame on any wrestler. It's not about the wrestlers right now. It's about the storylines and the angles and the effective booking, which we're not getting any of. I'm not putting the blame on anybody. Because nobody's turning off because of one wrestler. They're turning off because the overall show sucks. If there's one wrestler that's making fans turn away, it's probably Baron Corbin. But even he's not enough to be the sole reason why things suck. If they want to do shit with Baron Corbin, I don't care as long as the rest of the show's good. But it isn't. Everything sucks. No, I've never grown a long beard. I wouldn't want to. It'd be too itchy. It would drive me crazy.
The hassle of a long-term contract just to get the latest smartphone, it's too complicated. You can get the new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus on a life-fast nationwide network. New phone.
Well, yeah, I knew that Sheamus was not in good health. I knew he had some neck problems. I was just saying in terms of like wrestling news that I peeked at today, I saw nothing official. So if that's the rumor behind the scenes right now, I think it's sad, but it also would not surprise me because I have heard. We knew that he had some problems. And that might have been one of the reasons why they divided up the bar. I just thought they did it to do it. Yeah, but that's a shame. What the fuck is this? Backstreet Boys, get out of here. Oh, Jamie, shit. I've still not seen the Gino Hernandez Viceland documentary. I'm gonna watch that tonight along with the Tom McGee and Bret Hart. I'm finally gonna take a look at that. I meant to over the weekend, but I was busy. Yesterday, I wasn't even here. I got up at 8 o'clock in the morning, went straight to work, and did not get home until about midnight. It was gnarly. So today was my first day to kind of get back into the swing of things. So tonight will be nice. I'll chill out here, make some dinner, and watch that very disturbing documentary, which I'm sure it is. Because I know the story on him and all the controversy and the speculation, especially surrounding his death. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of piece they do on it. Big J giving Raw a 0 out of 10. That's awesome. I think this is a pretty shitty Raw. I might go 2. I don't know if I'm gonna go 0 out of 10, but that's funny. That's why I love y'all. Y'all crack me up. 0 out of 10. Aaron, I talked about the Super Showdown. What's my view on the Super Showdown? Okay, number one, the name is stupid because they already did it with Australia. Now they're just recycling that name, which I just loved to be in the room when they decided that. I swear to God, the conversation went something like, "What are we gonna call this fucking Saudi Arabia show?" And they're just like, "Ah, fuck it, call it Super Showdown." Done. I think it should be called the Greatest Super Showdown. But as far as the Goldberg and Taker match, I don't have any interest in it at all. I think it's a match that's been bought and paid for by the Saudi government, and I don't want anything to do with it. So I'm kind of grossed out by the whole thing. And the match is going to just suck so bad. I mean, what the hell are we going to see? You know, Goldberg wrestled a grand total of like 90 seconds in 3 matches in WWE before he got to WrestleMania and actually worked a few minutes with Brock. Other than that, he was going about 19 seconds every match he had. And so now he's going to work with The Undertaker, who can't work a lick either anymore because he's got, I don't know, because he's 172 years old. I just don't care. It's kind of gross that it's even happening. And if this is a continued thing, I mean, I guess this is why The Undertaker did not stay retired after WrestleMania when he lost to Roman, because now he can come back and cash in on these paydays in Saudi Arabia. I think he's worked all of them so far. He'll probably work the next one, and I would not be surprised if he's healthy enough or can get cleared somehow if they try to do the Taker Sting match at the next one. Because it seems like we're having a big match like this every time. with the Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement, and now Bill Goldberg doing the same thing. We might get Sting and Taker. Oh, are they... Bruce, who do you mean? The Viceland people are working on a Dino Bravo death one? I haven't heard about that, but if they are, I would be really interested in that one, because Dino, he was involved in some shit, man, and he was fucking whacked. And that would be a really interesting story. You know, because I've only known what I've read, and I'd like to find out what they dig up. I'd watch that in a second. I'd find that one incredibly interesting. So if that's true, I hope they're doing it. Oh, he went for the Swiss 1-9? I forgot he did that. Y'all, historians here, how many times have we seen this match? Did they hook up a few times before Ray left? Surely they did. I just can't recall any sort of match between these two, but I could be wrong. I'm sure they've worked before, I just don't remember when. Help me, y'all, help me. Sting is 60, no way. Well, no shit. But this is Saudi Arabia we're talking about. Goldberg's got no more business being in the ring than Sting does. What the fuck does it matter? You're gonna do Goldberg and Taker and Shawn Michaels and Taker. Might as well do Sting and Taker. There's enough money being thrown around. You think WWE gives a shit if this match is any good for the fans? No. It's what the people who are paying them $1 billion are requesting that they do, so they're doing it. So if they request Sting and Undertaker, aside from Sting's health, what's stopping them? Oh, 619 for Cesaro here in a second. Oh, good for you, Catherine. You've checked them all out, huh? Yeah, Cornette's been in all of them. My favorite was the Screwjob one, the way they closed. And Ray pins Cesaro. Well, he's got a title shot, so I guess that's fine. The funniest one was at the end of the Screwjob where they close out the documentary with Jim Cornette shitting on Vince Russo, which I just loved. I'm gonna piss on his grave and shit. Like, that is hysterical. Do I think WWE will get better? I think in time, and I think if All Elite Wrestling lands on TNT, timing couldn't be better. It's gonna force WWE to step up their game. Don't expect any crazy ratings, though, out of All Elite Wrestling. It's not like they're going to be doing 2 million viewers like WWE is. I think for the first 6 months at least, they're going to be way under 1 million viewers. I'm thinking anywhere from 300 to 700,000 viewers at the beginning. And I think that's on the high end. That's me guessing. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's even lower than that. And then in time, if it grows and it gets better... Doesn't happen right when you start. You have your first show, and then all of a sudden you're the top-rated wrestling company in the world. It's not how reality works. It's going to take some time, and they're going to have to start slow, and their network is going to have to be patient with them while they get a feel for everything. And I just hope TNT cooperates or wherever they land. It'd be really cool if they landed on TBS and aired on Saturdays at 6:05. Oh. Oh, we're going to talk about the Revival. Good. Let's relive Usi Hot. Because why wouldn't we? Oh my god. So we get to watch them shave their backs again. I'm so glad they're replaying this to catch all of us fans up on this storyline, because for those fans who missed it, you know, this is a big part of the angle. The thing that made me the most mad last week about this Usi Hot shit is the way they, like, counted down when it would kick in, and then immediately they started selling it. This makes me physically ill to watch this shit. This Usi Hot crap. The balls are in your court.
The skid mark on the underpants side, then go right ahead. But if you want to find out who is
How does one shave a back? I guess you have to have somebody do it for you, don't you? I'm glad my back's hairy. Although I got long ass arms, I could probably do it.
stops right now.
Y'all's tans don't match. Did you hear Seth? He goes, I broke the internet today. I guess he's talking about him and Becky. We knew you were together. We knew you were banging on them belts weeks ago, dude. Because you know the night after WrestleMania, it got freaky in that hotel room. Or the night of WrestleMania. There was belts involved. They probably used belts to tie one. Never mind, I'm getting too graphic. Alright, I'll be right back, and we're going to watch the last 26 minutes. BRB stands for Be Right Back, in case you didn't know.
Sometimes the smallest gestures can be the most refreshing. Give extra, get extra with new Extra Refreshers Go.
I have one kid in each branch of the military.
Why Elaine chose Verizon.
When I have a child deployed, having a reliable network means everything.
The network more people rely on gives you more.
Right.
Like a special price for military families and big savings when you switch. That's Verizon.
Final.
Good times begin with the cool, refreshing taste of twisted tea, hard iced tea. Made with real fruit tea.
Alright.
Just a touch of lemon.
We are almost there, y'all. 30 more minutes. And it's almost over. Alright. What'd I miss?
If you're sharing these nachos with anyone but yourself, nachos are now a meal with your choice of
Yeah, why did they show that revival stuff anywhere? We're gonna get a segment next? Great. What are we gonna shave this week? The taint. So this is a, you know what's weird about these Disney movies? Aladdin, and aren't they doing a Lion King too? I never saw either one. They're like the originals. My sisters were really into the Disney movies, and when I was younger, I saw them with them, like Snow White and Little Mermaid and shit like that. I had to see all that stuff when I was a kid, but for some reason, by the time like Lion King and Aladdin got out, I was older and never saw them. Because normally I would just see them by default. They'd just be playing in the one TV in the house that we had growing up. So I saw a lot of the early Disney movies, but never saw Aladdin or Lion King. And they're both like super classics, right? But I never saw them. My sisters used to have, I think they got rid of them. I wish they would have kept them because they might be worth something. But they had all the like the clamshell case VHS tapes to all those movies. I don't know whatever happened to them. I never saw the Toy Stories either. Never saw 1, 2, or 3, or now what? They're on 4 now. Never saw them. Jesus, Joey G. Probably. Oh yeah, I know, Catherine. I knew you'd have a huge problem with that. No, I didn't see Sleeping Beauty either. The only ones I saw, fucking Snow. There's more than just 2. Snow White, Little Mermaid. Fuck, I can't remember now. There's more than there's like 4 or 5 I think I've seen, but I was done by the time they got to Aladdin or whatever. Nope. How Wheezy, never seen. Toy Story. I know I'm crazy. I never really watched like anything. I never watched a lot of cartoons as a kid. Wasn't into it. I watched a little bit of cartoons, but a lot less than most kids. Oh, good. Firefly Funhouse. I like the crooked ass picture on the wall. That's a sweet sweater vest. I love that knitted Afghan or blanket he's got next to him. I think everybody's grandma's house had one of those.
It's almost time for me to show the world what I've really been working on. But I can't do it alone. No, I'm going to need the help of all my fireflies. So, who's with me?
I'm with you.
That just warms my soul. But don't worry, there's still a lot of darkness in this old noggin. This time's different. This time, I learned how to harness it, how to control it. So what do you say? You want to see my secret?
I don't want you to expose anything to me, Bray Wyatt. What the fuck? Damn, he's going full-blown horror movie. He looks like Beetlejuice. Okay. Well, that took a turn. Look at Renee. She's funny. She's like, I don't know about that guy.
This coming Sunday, where Becky Lynch defends both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships.
And Michael Cole's like talking about the SmackDown Women's titles. I'm like, dude, aren't you freaked out? I'm freaked out.
And Charlotte.
Go ahead, show her that women's right, Lacey.
Well, he let us know pretty quick, Bray Wyatt did, that he's not trying to play himself off as Mr. Rogers. He's as evil as ever. But that was creepy as shit. And what happens next week? Is it just back to the funhouse? Or is he now that monster, whatever that was?
The numbers game was too much for the champ. And this is what Becky's going to have to face on Sunday, because she has not one but two competitors, two challengers for her two championships, albeit in two individual matches. Whether it be Lacey or Charlotte, someone's going to have a firm advantage. Whoever draws the second matchup for Becky Lynch. Yeah, we take another look at the fate of Becky.
Becky going through the table. Do we have time for anything before the main event? What else is left here?
Sunday in the Money
How much more suffering must we endure? We have 28 minutes.
on the WWE Network, where Becky Lynch has two title defenses. She'll defend the Raw Women's Championship against the sassy Southern Belle, Lacey Evans. And Becky will also defend the SmackDown Women's Championship
Yeah, what'd y'all think of that shit? What's going on Twitter? Are people like losing it over that?
title. Also, will the magical ride of Kofi Kingston continue? Kofi defends the WWE title against KO Kevin
Lot,
Owens.
lot of Slipknot references on Twitter too. I mean, I kind of, is that what Bray Wyatt's gonna wear now? He had those like striped pants, almost like those Terry Funk type of trunks. I don't know if he's gonna wear that creepy ass mask or what is going on there. It's scary as shit. Most people are loving it. They're loving this Bray Wyatt stuff. He's a juggalo. Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, he kind of does have like that look to him, doesn't he? Weird. Well, it certainly was awesome, but I ain't putting a whole lot of
Universal Champion Seth Rollins.
hope in WWE doing it right. I don't have a whole lot of faith in their ability.
Earlier tonight, and he said the phenomenal forearm he hit you with last week was unintentional.
Sarah, we are way past that. Way past that. I gave AJ Styles the benefit of the doubt. He showed his true colors. It's not about respect anymore. You know, this is personal for me. See, this Sunday, AJ Styles and I go one-on-one for the first time ever in a WWE ring. But we actually had one other singles match, just one, 15 years ago.
Oh, I saw footage of that match from 06.
But it meant a lot to me.
I think like AJ cut a promo on him after the match or something.
It was the first time that my friends and my family believed in me. They knew this was real. They knew this wasn't a pipe dream, and I looked up to AJ Styles. This Sunday, it's going to be a statement match for me. It's not going to be about proving anything to my friends and my family.
For Mr. Rogers to Saw, pretty much.
To myself, to the WWE Universe, and to AJ Styles. And that is that this is my industry. That this is my show. That I am the backbone of Monday Night Raw.
You know, Brock Lesnar is also booked for Saudi Arabia, right?
I did look up to AJ Styles.
Do you think it's possible that it's just a Seth and Brock rematch? Which probably means Seth is going to retain somehow at Money in the Bank. I don't think Brock's been announced for a match yet. Seth seems like the likely opponent, right? So I think they're probably going to do that. I'm definitely going to be picking Seth on Sunday to win. Or at least to retain. All right, Falls Count Anywhere, Strowman Zayn. We got 25 minutes left, so we're looking at a minimum of 2 commercial breaks, possibly 3. Yeah, well, Bray Wyatt, the Bray Wyatt stuff is definitely the best thing about Raw right now because at least it's interesting. It's keeping us guessing, and they took a turn I wasn't expecting. I thought they were going to ride out this Mr. Rogers shit a little bit longer and slowly reveal that Bray is just some sick bastard. I have no idea if one has to do with the other or not, but I mean, Nikki Cross is also kind of acting weird, and then underneath it might reveal that she's a little nuts. I wouldn't mind seeing the two of them hook up at some point, but if that's going to be Bray's new look, that look that we saw at the end, and he's going to be coming to the ring in that shit, I like it. I think the look's pretty awesome. I think WWE is very capable of ruining it in about 48 hours. But initially, I like it. Me like. We were all hoping if Bray Wyatt, when he finally comes back, that they do something significant with him. I mean, it's not enough just to come back and say, oh, give you title matches now or whatever. You know, you might have to take a different road with this guy now. You kind of done all you can do and sucked all the life out of that character that was possible. So I like that they're going in a different direction. It's one of the few things they're doing right now. Will it turn out to be a success? We do not know. And I'm not sure with Bray Wyatt if he's going to go back to being that kind of cult leader type of character there, or if he's by himself now. Aside from his little hand puppets, might just be him. But if he starts creating another faction, you know, maybe he can swallow up some of those Sanity guys and maybe bring in Luke Harper or something, and he can make himself a new little group. But even if he does that, you know, how far can it go on the main roster? How quickly will WWE screw it up? Because they will. I have zero faith in them. Less than zero. I think changing Bray Wyatt's theme, Mao Wrestling, is possible. I don't know if it's automatically going to be a generic song, but I think a theme song change might be in the cards now. Considering this crazy-ass gimmick, you got to have some sort of a theme that's going to match that insanity. And if they spent this much time developing this look and this ring attire and this character, they'd probably work behind the scenes to develop some new music too. They wouldn't just forget about that. So I'm hoping that if he has new music, that it's not generic and that it's good and that it fits the character.
Listen to the hottest music and get free shipping, all included.
Hey, with that, I'm just kind of curious. Just a little game we'll play real quick while we're on commercial break. I don't want to know the. I read the Raw spoilers. I know what's going to happen here. Without spoiling the ending, don't tell us who wins. All I want to know is if you know who's going to win or not. So if you've read the spoilers and you know who's going to win, say yes. If you haven't read the spoilers and you don't know who's going to win this match, say no. I'm just curious. Don't say who wins. Just say yes or no. I'm just curious. How many of y'all are like me and know what happens? Because I will say this. I'm kind of changing my tune about Money in the Bank just ever so slightly. But we'll see. I got a few days to think about it before I get to my predictions this week. And that'll be live. I'll come up and do that live Thursday or Friday. Sit here and talk about the pay-per-view. Predict the entire card, and then I'll be up here on Sunday reacting to the whole thing. Okay, so none of y'all know. Cool, so probably more of y'all don't know than do know. Okay, that's cool. So many of you don't read the spoilers. That's cool. I know a lot of people don't like to do that. I just figured as bad as Raw is, like, nobody would care and they just read the spoilers. Because I usually always read spoilers. I never care. So tomorrow on SmackDown, we're getting the other four on a Fatal 4-Way. Andrade, Orton, Balor, and Ali in a Fatal 4-Way. Tomorrow. Which I'll be at work. So you guys will have to update me over on the Twitter. Oh, the fans in London are definitely going to sing this shit. And Sammy, he can't make the Saudi show, can he? He's like not allowed. He looks like an insane person. I like what Sammy's saying. I mean, it's pretty funny, and it might be another example of WWE's pettiness. You notice how good his promos are, and part of the reason that is because WWE is applying themselves. It's something that they are passionate about, and they're trying to speak through with using Sami Zayn as a vessel. So they're writing like really good shit for him. If they put half that amount of passion into everybody else's promos, you know, they might be able to write some decent shit from time to time. But the Sami stuff, it just echoes, you know, what WWE feels behind the scenes. With the entitled fans and the way they complain and bitch. And WWE's not entirely right about that, but they're not entirely wrong either. WWE's problem is they feel like any fan, no matter who it is, that complains is automatically some virgin that lives in their mom's basement that just likes to complain about everything. It's the same way about how I give the fans shit a lot about taking like every single little argument and trying to apply it to every situation, and that doesn't really work. WWE makes the same exact mistake. They do the same thing. You know, any fan, no matter what, if it's me who defends WWE all the time, but if I complain about them and complain about this bullshit and they hear it, I'm automatically going to be that loser that lives in his mom's basement. You know, I'm like, no, the fans sometimes actually have a fucking point, believe it or not. WWE. Not everybody is an entitled fan. Many are, but not all of them are. I'm certainly not. But sometimes the truth of the matter is just a little more painful for WWE. I mean, they know what their problems are, and the fans call them out for it. And they're barking back here in the form of Sami Zayn. Yeah, Mike, Kofi's defending against Owens. I feel like it's just a weird time for them to do a title switch and put it on Owens randomly. He's kind of had a weird spot in the company. He came back right before WrestleMania and got a title shot at Fastlane and then missed WrestleMania altogether. Came back as a babyface with a New Day. Now he's heel. Now he's got a match with Kofi that I think was kind of thrown together and hot-shotted because Daniel Bryan was injured. None of this timing to me feels right. So I think Kofi's days with the title are definitely numbered, but I'd keep it on him at least past Money in the Bank. Maybe he can drop it at Stomping Ground or Absolute latest SummerSlam. Well, Strowman just ran over Sammy. We got 15 minutes here to have this match wrap up, so I'm sure they're going to go all over the arena. I don't even know how this finish happens, but I do know the finish. Oh, really, Far East man? Nothing is more important than reading that? Well, I'm kind of hungry, and after the stream, I'm going to eat some dinner. So right now, dinner is more important than that. Sorry. Right now, salmon and vegetables is more important than your stupid website. I'm probably going to go to the bathroom, too, before then, which also makes that more important than your website. Sorry, dude. Hey, buddy. Sensing interference? Well, if Sammy wins this match, the only way he can win, you would think, would be with interference. Oh, splash Strowman right in the face. I don't think Strowman saw that coming. Damn, he took that right in the eyes. Hi, buddy. Come on up here. Strowman looks legit stunned by that. Remember the remember Austin did an interview on, maybe on one of their documentaries or somewhere, and he was talking about the beer truck incident, or the spot when he sprayed the corporation with the beer on Raw. Here, you got to get down, buddy. This isn't working out. And he basically took the beer hose and put it the own thing in his mouth to try to drink some beer, but it went so far up his nose. Damn, that building looks like an airport. Can this camera be any shakier? I think he's ramming Sammy up against those concrete bricks. Or pillars. Damn, Ruthless, you're the second person to give Raw a 0 out of 10. That's a very specific rating. Second person. And we haven't even gotten to the finish yet, but I mean, I would assume that this finish that we're going to see here, as far as what I read, I liked it. What the fuck? Oh, Baron Corbin. It's perfectly legal. I'm going to beat you with a Tupperware fucking trash can. That'll teach you, Strowman. This dude eats car doors for lunch. And you're going to pin him after a couple of Rubbermaids to the head? I don't think so. -7 out of 10. Dang. 3 out of 10 for Lisa. That seems a little bit more realistic. Time to watch Ferris Bullet Day Off. Ooh. Right through the merch table. Here comes Sammy crawling in there. I mean, it seems like Corbin and Lashley and McIntyre are always going to be, like, the go-to heels to do run-ins on shit. It's always one of them, like, every time. There's a commercial. All right. They are still brawling in the merch area.
it's whoever that guy is chasing's fault. Or if it's man's best friend's fault.
I'm not sure what we're watching, y'all. I'm kind of with you guys on this.
If it is, ultimately,
Well, Adam, you're being pretty generous on the 6. I'm gonna go 4. I think most people are at 2s or 3s. And you're all the way up at a 6, so you're being kind. The Bray Wyatt shit was great. I don't know how many points Raw gets for that. I'll definitely add 1 to it. And I actually do like the outcome of this main event, so I'll add another point for that. So I'm going 4. 4 out of 10. Channeling my inner Bret Hart. Oh, you know what? I should show you guys something. Shout out to Dan Price, who sent me an email. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Sent me an email yesterday with this logo. Check this thing out. I'm going to make this available on Pro Wrestling Tees. I've already submitted it. So he made a All Elite Wrestling mock-up kind of my logo there, or of my name. So what do y'all think? Pretty cool, huh? Shout out to Dan Price for sending that to me via email. And emailed him back and thanked him for it. So looks pretty good. I always enjoy fan art. He also made me an AWA logo that looks fucking sweet as well. Dan Price is the man. Unfortunately, he's not on Twitter, though, but he is on Instagram. But I'm not. Otherwise, I'd follow him. So thanks again, Dan, for that. Appreciate it. Thought it looked awesome, and appreciate your hard work. Thought I'd show you guys that. How do I get it off? There we go. Be gone with you. All right, buddy. The cat, Bub, is just determined to get in my lap. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. You know them. It's like, yeah, I know them. You're kind of a star on the streams. But just the way you want to sit isn't working out. Like, you got to be cooler than this. If you want to sit here. Homeboy's almost 10 years old, man. Starting to call him old man now. You got to start changing his diet. You better never need a diaper. I'm not changing your diaper, buddy. I draw the line. Yeah, so I don't know how long it'll take to get that shirt over on the store. Last time I added a design, it took like maybe a week or so, but should be up soon if y'all want to pick one up. What is Candy Crush? I don't even know what that is. I used to see it all the time on the Facebook. How Wheezy, I definitely will. I know you'll be the first one to pick one up. I'll keep my eye on it. I'm actually checking my GoodMicWork email now, just to see if anything. No email about any problems or anything, so. Should be up there soon. Once I see it, I'll let y'all know. Alright, now they're in the... Okay, Braun and Sammy are coming down the stairs now. They're back in the arena. Sammy's running. Everybody's filming them on their phones. Braun runs downstairs funny. Becky's tape was leaked. What tape? Gee, I do have to change Bub's diaper at this litter box. Yeah, no shit. I've been toying with the idea of biting the bullet and buying a self-cleaning litter box, but they're like $300 or $400. But it sure would make my life easier. I've been thinking about it for like 5 years. Thanks, Peter. It's the only reason I'm here. I would not be able to even keep up with Monday Night Raw if I didn't do these live streams, because there's no way I'd sit here and watch this shit by myself. At least if I have a whole bunch of you guys with me, we can just make the best of it and laugh at this crap. It makes it a whole lot easier. It makes me less mad, too, you know? Like, if I'm hanging out with y'all and we're just chatting and stuff, I'm likely to get less angry about something stupid that I see. Because I'm, like, distracted. Because I ain't trying to be angry. Not in my own home. My home is my sanctuary, my place of peace. Don't want to be mad in here. I want to be happy. So that's why I hang out with you guys. Y'all make me happy. Sammy is running away, by the way, from Braun, who catches him. We got 6 minutes left in the show on my clock. Oh my god. Oh, there's Drew. Hey, who called us? Somebody knew Drew was coming out. Everybody's like, what tape? I don't know. Somebody said it. Whoever that was that said it. Everybody's like, all of a sudden, it's like, fuck Raw. What's this about a Becky tape? I don't know. He just hit, did he DDT Strowman? Alright, Strowman kicked out. They are way in the back, so this match is going to end back here. They do not have time, I don't think, to get back in the ring. They might, but... Drew. I mean, haven't we already seen Drew and Strowman, like, have a feud? So what's Drew going to do here? Damn, they tore the TV up. Hey, pass me one of those sodas, dude. Who are all these people standing there? Oh, Sammy's crawling. Maybe Sammy is crawling back out of the ring. Now where are they? He's gonna crawl through the entranceway, I'm guessing. Yeah, there he is. Alright, we gotta go home here in 3 minutes, boys. Or actually, it's taped. They can do whatever they want. Actually, it's funny, too. WWE today actually had the luxury of going a little bit long. They could have just had this match go on a couple extra minutes and then just cut some shit out. End it right on time. You know what else I would have done if I was WWE taking advantage of this taped show? I would have had this match in the beginning of the show for the live crowd, but then splice it in for the main event on the edited tape version. That way the crowd looks jacked and excited for the match. Because I think if they opened with this, the fans might be a little bit more into it. Oh, here comes Corbin. Oh, so now we got Corbin and McIntyre together now. Okay, so I was about to say, like, what exactly is their motivation for even doing this? So Corey is trying to explain it as, you know, Strowman's a big threat, so they'd rather have him out. That's why they're attacking him. So I think it's pretty clear to everybody, right, what they're doing here. I'm probably not spoiling anything if I let us know, I mean, who's going to win this. Which is why I think this motivation of McIntyre and Corbin could blow up in their face at the pay-per-view. And which is why I think my pick to win the briefcase is going to change after this match. Alright, so this has got to be one of those wooden ladders. Spray painted, right? Yeah, you can see the wood. It's so stupid. Like, they treat these ladders like tables now. Look at that thing just bounce back up. What is that made out of? Ooh, Claymore. So they put Strowman through a ladder, then a Claymore kick. And Corbin's dragging Sammy for the pin. This is probably going to be it. We got 2 minutes left. Alright. And he wins. So Sami Zayn is now in the Money in the Bank. And you know what? I'd put the briefcase on him. I think he's cutting the best promos right now. You add that Money in the Bank and you have Sami Zayn dangle that in front of the audience every week on TV. And tease us and tease us and tease us for months on end, waiting for the opportunity. He'd be one of the best, most entertaining briefcase holders we've ever had. So I want him to win. If they went through the trouble to replace Braun Strowman with Sammy, why would you do that if you didn't have him plan to win? Seems random just to replace him like that. Unless maybe they don't want Strowman to have to lose a match like this. They feel like he would be the unbeatable man. But what do they care about that? They beat him all the time. So just the very idea of WWE doing this makes me think that Sammy now has a chance to actually win the briefcase. Especially with Corbin and McIntyre helping him out, thinking that he would be an easier opponent to have, and then it bites him in the ass and he wins. I'd be into that. Totally. So the entire Raw side, aside from Ricochet, is heels. All right, we're gonna go off the air like this with Strowman. Oh shit! Look at Corbin fed Sammy to Strowman. So they got what they wanted, but then they showed they didn't give a shit about Sammy in the end anyway, and fed him to Strowman to weaken him, maybe. Which is why I would totally put the briefcase with Sammy. He'd be great, man. I'm glad that they took him out. I didn't want to see him in the match to begin with, and I certainly didn't want to see Strowman win it again. And you got to remember, too, about the Money in the Bank for people who have their other picks, you know, people who think Drew McIntyre should win or might win or whatever. One thing you do have to remember, as they're plugging the Holy Grail coming up next on the network, one thing you got to remember about the Money in the Bank is that if you don't win, that doesn't mean you can never be world champion. So, like, if Drew McIntyre, for example, doesn't win the Money in the Bank, that doesn't mean his opportunities are gone. He can still just get a title shot. They give him out pretty randomly. And you have the Universal title now back on Raw. Brock is no longer holding it hostage. Drew will have his opportunity with or without the Money in the Bank. So I don't think it's necessarily a matter of, oh, if so-and-so doesn't win, they're never being champion. I don't think you need the briefcase to be champion. I think the briefcase should go on somebody that makes it entertaining and is fun. And Drew McIntyre is kind of a badass, a fearless type of badass who doesn't back down from a fight. And seemingly, just based on his size and ability, shouldn't need any sort of an advantage to win a title. He shouldn't be the type of character that has to take advantage of an opportunity, and that's the only way he can win a title. That type of shit should be reserved for guys like The Miz and Sami Zayn, for example. And I think if Sami is out there, somebody that otherwise would probably not get a world title program on a regular basis, he would make a much more suitable briefcase holder, in my opinion, because he would be fun. And he'd be out there teasing the fans. You know, McIntyre would be boring with his briefcase teases. Sami Zayn would troll the fuck out of us. And it would be great. So that's why I think putting Sami in this match, why would they do it? Why would they just randomly put him in this match unless, you know, or unless maybe they're just thinking about it. Maybe they're thinking about having him win. Because WWE probably doesn't know. They'll decide it this week. Maybe having him in the match now makes him an option. I don't know. Maybe that could be... there could be some truth to that, too. I don't know. But I think he'd be a great briefcase holder, and I'm kind of rooting for him now. Sammy is my man. I'd rather just see Drew McIntyre. You know, WWE just, you know, they have the generic ways of coming up with #1 contenders. It's always like a fatal four-way or, you know, 2 triple threats where the winners face or some, you know, or you pin the champion or some stupid shit. Where you just have a match and earn a #1 contender shot or earn a title shot, I should say. And I think Drew can just do that. You know, maybe he gets a title shot at SummerSlam against Seth or something. I don't know. And then the briefcase holder is dangling it over everybody's heads. And another interesting thing now about the briefcase is that we have to take into consideration is I always talk about the two briefcase winners with the men and the women. One should probably be a heel. One should be a babyface. One should be a SmackDown person. One should be a Raw person. But now with the wild card, you got to think about people with the briefcase jumping over to cash in on another belt, which is now probably an option if the wild card bullshit rule applies to everybody on the roster. So I think you can throw a swerve like that at us. And I don't think there's any rush this year with the briefcases. We did the same night cash in last year with Alexa Bliss. I don't necessarily want to see it this year. I think those are fun, and they're always kind of shocking and exciting when they happen. And if you do it every year, you're going to ruin it. And you did it kind of recently with Dean Ambrose, then with Alexa Bliss, I'd take a year off from that shit. And I'd have both briefcase holders hang on to them. Neither one of them cashes in the same night. And I think one of them cashes in kind of recently or kind of soon. You know, right after they win it, maybe a month, maybe two, cash it in kind of quick. And then the other briefcase holder holds on to it until like Royal Rumble. That's what I would do. And you could even do a WrestleMania moment. Although these days, I think if somebody is holding a briefcase at WrestleMania, it's going to be a given that they cash in. So it might be a little bit predictable. Seth Rollins still did a pretty good job of shocking us, even though a lot of people called it. Like, oh, he should cash in. Maybe he will. But I think enough fans were also cynical enough to think that the WWE was going to automatically launch Roman, that maybe they weren't considering Seth being a real option, and he turned out to be in the end. So I think like somewhere like Royal Rumble, January-ish or something like that would be better for something like that. Because it would be somewhere where you just wouldn't see it coming. The wild card was non-existent today. Well, Elias was there. But yeah, I guess you're right. That was the only one we didn't see, right? From SmackDown? But Elias was there. And Roman was there. What are you talking about? Roman was there too. So yeah, the wild card did kind of. Yeah, Trayvon, you enjoyed Raw tonight. Some people did. A lot of people in the chat were giving it some pretty low ratings. It was pretty. I mean, it was a go-home show. It wasn't. I'm not going to put it on the level of the worst Raw we've ever seen or anything like that. But it was a lot of the same shit we've been dealing with. The Bray Wyatt shit was so freaky and awesome. I think a lot of that. I think that helped the show a lot for a lot of the fans. AJ, that's a good question. Like, what other ways could they create number one contenders? In my eyes, just with storylines and issues. You know, back in the day, sometimes people wouldn't get title shots because they deserved it, like on TV. Like the announcers are like, "Oh, you've earned a title shot" or whatever. It was always just some random issue. You know, the champion would just start an angle with somebody on TV, or somebody would fuck with him or whatever. But nowadays, it's always the same way. Like title shots are awarded based on the same type of 4 or 5 different ideas. Fatal 4-way, 2 triple threats where the winners face. You have a match with a champion. If you beat him, you earn a title match. All sorts of shit like that. And it's the same thing every single time. You know, I just wish there were a little bit more like personal issues. And then if you did make a match that felt a little bit random, you know, you had a decent build. I think a lot of times when you do babyface matches, they wind up sucking, because they're not creative with that either. The babyfaces always have to team together and then have miscommunication and then fight and, you know, and try to add a little bit of heat to their match, but it's always the same shit every time. So with me, it would just be a matter of storylines, because the matches are good and everything, and a lot of these guys and gals can cut promos just fine, but the promos are scripted to death, and they just, if they're going to script them, okay, fine, you have every right to do that. If you want to micromanage every little goddamn thing, you have that right. But if you're going to script everything, at least make it good. I don't care if it's scripted as long as it's good. But it's not. It's boring and stale. And you don't feel like... you never feel it. You never get emotionally invested, you know, in the angles and the storylines. And I think a lot of it has to be with the storytelling. You know, instead of just the same old generic ways to create contenders and title shots. And that's kind of where we're at now, because the business moves so fast, and you have to have a championship match, a couple of these things a month, so you have a constant revolving door of contenders and stuff, so you kind of run out of ideas. But it seems like they're using the same ones, and they've been using the same ones, you know, for the last, I don't know how many years, 10 it feels like. Nothing feels new, fresh, creative, nothing. You know, every now and then they'll hit one that feels good. You know, it's a personal issue that has a lot of drama, but for the most part, it's underwhelming, I guess, is the best word I can use to describe it. WWE version of the G1 Climax, I could see something like that going in being in NXT, but not on the main rosters and shit. I don't want to see Raw or SmackDown attempt anything out of the box. So they just need to stay in their box for right now because they don't even know how to handle the shit in their box. You can't go out of it until you know what you're doing. I just think they just need to tighten up and just try to make their shit make a little bit more sense in general. And then when you got a handle on that, then you can start thinking crazy. Yeah, you think Corbin was used well as a heel for the first time tonight? Yeah, I kind of agree. Cut that promo. What a douche. Wound up. Who did he beat? Ray? Or no, Ricochet. I'm sorry. Yeah, Sony Maynard. Thank you for reminding me there. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here since the audience is dropping. Thanks for hanging out again tonight, guys. I appreciate it. I'm gonna be up. You're gonna have a brand new pay-per-view review hitting the channel tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest, and then I will be up on Friday for my predictions, and then Sunday for my live reaction. So a whole lot of content on the channel this week. It'll be fun. I'm gonna click over now to the WWE Network and watch the Bret Hart, Tom McGee stuff. I want to see that. It's gonna be cool. And hope you guys take a look at it as well. And let me know what you think on Twitter. If you are on Twitter, follow me at GoodMicWork. And when you watch the documentary, send me your thoughts over there on the Twitter machine. And I will catch you guys in just a couple of days. Be good. See you then. Peace.